Denver offense.
Well, they really do, Mike. For the last 15 years, this offense has relied on one man, John Elway. Year in and year out, game in and game out, he's had to carry the load on his shoulders. But things have changed. The cavalry has arrived. Enter one Terrell Davis, the most complete back in the NFL, and a bona fide MVP candidate. Tonight, he'll play in front of a hometown crowd, which will include over 40 friends and family members. And he would love nothing more than to treat them to a mile-high salute.
All right, Joe, should be some fun tonight. The Broncos and the Chargers. Back with the opening kickoff in 30 seconds.
Hey, mama said the way you move gonna make you sweat, gonna make you groove.
Kansas City with a win today gets within a half game of Denver, and the Broncos need to win tonight to keep the lead in the AFC West. San Diego will get the football first. Kenny Bynum with the return. Runs into his own man, stops at the 19-yard line. Take a look at the San Diego offense. Craig Wheelahan gets his 4th career start coming off his poorest performance in the loss to San Francisco. Brian Still starting to show flashes of the talent that made him the club's top pick a year ago. He gets his been a major sore point. Troy Sienkiewicz moves to right guard, replacing Isaac Davis, who was cut. Wheelahan in his 4th career start tonight. His numbers have declined all the way through his first 3 games. He'd like to rebound tonight after that performance against the 49ers. Wheelahan with time to Fletcher in the flat, but misfires. He was covered by Ray Crockett. Denver's defense got an immediate boost in their pass rush with the addition of Neil Smith. He's come through with 7.5 sacks. Linebacker John Mobley was a sensation as a rookie. Now with a better knowledge of the defense, he has racked up 119 tackles, #1 on the club. And Denver acquired Darian Gordon primarily as a punt returner, but he's done a terrific job as a starting corner as well. Neil Smith, the longtime Kansas City Chief, now a Denver Bronco. Gary Brown is committed running back. We're going to have play action to him. And throws complete up at the 31-yard line. That'll be a first down to Brian Still.
Mike, that time, Craig Wheelahan did a real nice job of coming out of the play action and setting himself to make an accurate throw. He plants his feet very well. A little bit of fake to Gary Brown coming out. As he comes around, he turns his shoulder. Now he's set, he plants, and then he cuts it loose. Brian Still does a nice job of coming back to the ball. Kevin Gilbride wanted to get his offense started early, in particular Wheelahan, and so far he has.
Out of the eye this time, Gary Brown, the deep man. And he'll get his first carry. Brown cuts it back up to the 33-yard line. This offense has been its own worst enemy the last couple of games, Joe. They really haven't been able to get out of their own way.
Mike, really, to be blunt and candid, it's been terrible. I mean, they just have not been able to get any kind of cohesiveness going. You see a lot of constant changes. Now Brian Still is in, but he's really been a guy who's been able to make some big plays.
Look at the last 2 games. 9 points, 13 punts, and 5 turnovers. Over the 2 tight ends here. Brown again. And they'll blow the play dead. Flags are down at the line of scrimmage.
Well, that time, Frank Hartley, the tight end, one of the 2 tight ends they used.
Prior to the ball being snapped, ball start, number 89, 5 yards.
Tight ends that the Chargers like to use. Freddie Jones, the other one, number 88, just flinched ever so slightly.
And penalties have, among other things, have really hurt the San Diego ball club. Second most in both number of penalties and yardage penalized.
And I think that's a telling sign. When you see the yards they're penalized, that means that there's not a lot of just 5-yard motion penalties. There's some big ones that have cost them.
Facing a 2nd and 14 here, opening possession of the ball game. 5 wide receivers. Wheelahan intended it for Martin, and he couldn't hold it at the 33.
Yeah, but I think he just threw that too hard. That's a throw that's got to be a touch throw. You got to give the receiver a chance to make a play. Wheel steps up on this one and just puts too much juice on it. He sees him coming all the way, and I just think he throws it a little too hard. But Tony Martin should have caught it. That ball's thrown a little bit hard. Yeah, okay, but you still got to make that catch.
Now it's 3rd and 14. Metcalf is in the slot, and Wheelahan changing the play. Comes the blitz. Wheelahan unloads short. It's incomplete. Intended it for Freddie Jones, the big rookie tight end.
The gut to put pressure on Wheelahan.
Darian Gordon, the former Charger who had so many good years in San Diego, is now having a brilliant season in Denver, leading the NFL 14.2 yards a return. He had 2 touchdowns returned in the same quarter against Carolina earlier. Darren Bennett. Not a very good kick. And a fair catch made at the 29. There's a marker down back to the line of scrimmage.
Near the 30-yard line. There is a penalty flag on the field.
Pre or post possession.
Holding number 42 of the receiving team during the kick. 10 yards. First down.
So it will be John Elway's ball when we come back. How will the San Diego defense and Junior Seau stack up against him?
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Honda. Honda's commitment to the environment is another result of Honda thinking. By the irresistible taste that makes you say, did somebody say McDonald's? And by MasterCard. There are some things in life money can't buy. For everything else, there's MasterCard.
These shots from La Jolla, California, just one of the many beautiful suburbs of San Diego. Unusually rainy day today. Elway to throw on first down. Pump fake McCaffrey over the middle of the 45. It's a gain of 26 on the first play from scrimmage.
John Elway certainly isn't going to sit back, nor is Mike Shanahan. They come in motion. Elway looks to the right, and McCaffrey, who was actually the motion man, works the middle of the football field. This is another look at it, right down the middle, just nuzzles right under it, slows down just enough to make the play.
Wonderful hands by Ed McCaffrey. Elway to throw on second down. Into the flat, he's got Smith pushed out of bounds in San Diego territory. John Elway leads the Denver offense, having another brilliant season. 18 touchdown passes, only 7 interceptions, on the verge of another 3,000 campaign. Shannon Sharp leads the club, 54 catches, 823 yards. Both those totals number 1 in the NFL for tight ends. And up front, the only starter under 30, Tom Nalen, a 7th-round draft choice 4 years ago. He is smart, strong, and has a Pro Bowl future. Davis. First opportunity to carry the ball. He has a first. To the 44. For San Diego's defense, John Perella has finally come into his own. He has a career-high 3.5 sacks. He's very strong against the run. Junior Seau coming off a brilliant effort against the 49ers. The game's highest-paid linebacker has 7 sacks this year. That ties his best ever. And in the secondary, Rodney Harrison leads the team in tackles, and like Seau, has a great motor and makes big plays. They'll need them tonight. The offense has not been able to do anything in the last month. Here's the blitz. Smith. near the 30. Another first down for Denver. Gain of 14.
That just gives you an idea how quick John Elway's release is, Mike. Sayow's going to come around, almost come untouched, and Elway's still going to get it out. He slides around. Here he comes up to shoot. Nobody blocks him. John still gets it off. Look for the one-on-one coverage and had it with Rod Smith.
The number one offense in the NFL. And Elway already 3 out of 3, 47 yards. Comes another blitz. Davis to a kick. Terrell Davis to the outside. Another first down. And they are just tearing up a very good defense.
Well, what they're doing is they're finding the creases on the edge, Mike. They're letting Terrell Davis run to the edge and cut inside the tight end and or the back, making the play.
A gain of 14 yards.
There comes the blitz. Everybody's got somebody. Look at that. The entire offensive line. Where he wants to go. They don't make decisions for him.
Davis out of the University of Georgia, originally with the Long Beach State. Elway to Davis in the flat. Covered beautifully out there by James Burgess.
You know, it's interesting talking to Terrell Davis last night, Mike. He said, you know, I'm not a creative runner. Creative runners are like Napoleon Kaufman, Barry Sanders. He's a guy who likes to take it in a direction, makes one move, and then bang, he's going to hit the hole and take it right north and south.
Has 2 goals, trying to catch Barry Sanders. Needs over 100 yards to do that. And trying to rush for 2,000 yards, and he's got more than 40 family and friends. Of course, he's from Lincoln High School here in San Diego. 2nd and 11 after a loss of 1 in the conclusion. Another blitz. Elway with a screen, and Davis, or excuse me, that's Smith. He couldn't hold it. You know, that looked like a screen, but Elway wasn't acting. He was really being chased that time.
He really was. And what happened that time is John Perella, number 97, actually pulls out and winds up having to chase Rod Smith. All Rod Smith had to do was somehow get the ball in his hand, and he was not going to catch him. There's Perella, number 9. Cover Rod Smith. Well, sort of. He's going to watch him go by, is what he's going to do.
At 6'5", 290, he's not going to chase him down very often. 3rd and 11. Elway rifles to the end zone, intended for McCaffrey, incomplete. Excellent coverage by San Diego. Dumas just one of the defenders back there.
Chargers do a good job of staying where they should be, particularly Michael Dumas, the safety. John Elway loves to throw the ball up the middle. There they put pressure on the outside. Now he sets to gun this thing. Dumas holds his position, manages to just get in to create a tough throw for Elway.
Jason Elam, who has only missed 6 all year. And this one is blocked. Dwayne Carswell gets the loose ball, but they'll turn it over to San Diego.
Junior Seau. As long as the defensive lineman up front can get a push, he can get his hands up.
You know, they ought to use him on offense.
Rogue hurts.
Now it's still 0-0.
And Junior really lines up in the middle of the formation here. You'll see him, number 55, right there. Just going to get his hands up. Not a lot of penetration. This ball is kicked low. He gets up, times it perfectly, and swats it with his right hand. Frank Novak, the special teams coach, he's loving it. Hey, he got it. Way to go, Junior.
Games lately. Trying to establish the run with Gary Brown, and he's stuck by the middle of that defense. It's the question about Denver. Can they stop the run? Is this good enough run defense to get them to the Super Bowl?
Well, by golly, Mike, you'd hope they can. They play with almost 8 guys around the line of scrimmage all the time. Steve Atwater, their strong safety, is not going to be very far from the line of scrimmage. What Greg Robinson likes to do, he likes to commit 8 men fronts and make you throw the football, and then he'll make his adjustment accordingly. He'll dictate on defense.
They're 22nd against the run coming in. Brown breaks one tackle, can't break a second. Wrapped up by Alfred Williams, the veteran out of Colorado.
Brown, the ball carrier.
The big rap against the Denver defense is the yards per carry they have given up this year. It is a whopping 5.24 yards a carry.
Yeah, but I'll tell you something. You throw in just the 2 runs that Napoleon Kaufman had against them of 60 and 80 yards. I mean, that's going to take the average and I think inflate it. And a lot of times you'll pick up yards when you're protecting the lead also. And this is what they say, and I tend to agree with it.
3rd and 7 for Wheelahan. Good protection. It throws too high. There's a flag down. I think Still's pattern was cut off by the defensive back. Illegal contact against Denver. That'll be a first down.
Illegal contact. Number 25 of the defense. 5 yards.
Guilty of the infraction.
Mike Shanahan continues to take his notes. He scripts the first 15 just so that he gets an idea on offense what the other defense is going to do. And he'll also study defensively very closely as to what the rotation is, as where the offense wants to go with the football.
An exceptional record he has so far in Denver. He's just a terrific coach with an immaculate reputation. Wheelahan under pressure, throws over the middle. It's intercepted, picked up by Braxton. Threw into double coverage, and Tyrone Braxton has his 4th interception of the season and a return of 19 yards.
And this is a bad decision by Wheelahan. He has got the fullback wide open in the flat on the play action and just is unable to execute. He's got to do a better job than that.
Craig Wheelahan with a poor decision, throws the interception. Denver takes over at the San Diego 43-yard line. Davis on the draw. Picks his way near the 36.
Mike, Craig Wheelahan on that interception by Braxton. First of all, he throws the ball where he should. And secondly, you're trying to make too much out of a play. If you got a guy open, you're going to see Craver get out here in the flat. He's going to be wide open. You're going to see the safety hang here, and then he's just going to move on the ball. A couple of things. First of all, take the man that's open. There's the fullback wide open in the flat. Now, if you're going to throw it down the middle of the flat, and not allow that off safety to come and make a play.
2nd and 3. Terrell Davis has already gained 25 yards in the opening quarter. Elway throws it away.
Elway's penalty incomplete.
So far, it looks like Mike Shanahan has decided that he wants to come out and establish the pass to loosen up San Diego's defense. Has a lot of respect for what San Diego is doing defensively, and then he'll eventually try and get to the run, I think. Joe Pascal, their defensive coordinator, doing a good job so far.
John Elway has the same respect. Because you've got to block Sayal and Harrison. Those are the playmakers. Here comes Sayal on the blitz. End around to Smith. They caught him on this one. Smith to the 15. A gain of 21 on the reverse.
So often, Mike, what you want to do is take someone's aggressiveness and use it against them, and that's exactly what they did with Junior Sayal. Junior comes from the right side, number 55. There's no contain by Marco Coleman out there, number 90, and Smith just comes around. If Junior's going inside, Marco Coleman, number 90's got to have this type of contain. He gets sucked down inside as well. Nobody home on the reverse.
1st and 10 Broncos. Flashes up the middle to the 5.
Wow. I'll tell you, Terrell Davis just decides to push Gary Zimmerman, number 65, out of the way.
Tackle line, number 20, Michael Lewis.
Number 75, Ryan Habib, manages to lock up on Junior and won't let him get off. Now Davis comes through. You're going to see Gary Zimmerman downfield. There he is. He's knocking his own men out of the way.
Terrell Davis still has that big back mentality, even though he is a tailback man. Davis again lowers his head and got maybe a yard. Clock running. We're down to 5:22 to go, first quarter. Mike Shanahan and Denver's attitude about Kansas City chasing them. They can't pass us if they don't catch us, and they don't believe they will. Inside the 20, Terrell Davis, 11 touchdowns, second best in the league. Elway, McCaffrey, touchdown.
Mike, that's just a great use of play action. When you've got a guy like Terrell Davis, you have to pay attention to him. And the mobility and speed of John Elway to still get outside causes real problems for a defense of how. Here goes the play action. McCaffrey comes in motion, so it's hard to anybody to jam him. Now he just pauses for a second, releases outside, knows he only has to go 3 or 4 yards.
Elam with the point after, and Denver has jumped on top, 7-0. 4:56 to go, first quarter.
Great communications.
John Elway and the Broncos on top 7-0 with 4:56 to go, first quarter.
That touchdown one more time. Watch the movement of everybody as the play action starts. McCaffrey just paused enough to create a problem for Terrence Shaw, who was covering him, winds up in the end zone.
Touchdown pass number 303 for John Elway. That ties John Unitas for number 3 all time. Elam kicking off. That's Aaron Craver. He and Kenny Bynum are deep. Bynum at the 7. Nowhere to go. Joe, when you have a young quarterback like Wheelahan, the defense really loves to try to confuse him.
They play games with him, Mike. We're going to show you on our ESPN pre-play what it looks like. The Broncos, in this case, would line up in what would amount to a double zone. As the quarterback is not under the center now, he sees football field like Wheelahan did. As he steps up, they change and go to 4 across. Now all of a sudden they move with the safety in the middle of the football field. In this case it's Braxton. And now as he tries to look down the field, everybody's covered. That's exactly the case that happened to Craig Wheelahan on the last interception.
Chargers will start from the 18. Wheelahan changing the play. Four-man rush, straight back to throw, and underneath to Martin, complete at the 25.
Mike, the Chargers on offense, they take forever to get a play off. I mean, it seems like Wheelahan is standing at the line of scrimmage. He's got to get his guys back in a huddle, get them to the line, and get some type of a rhythm. Right now, Kevin Gilbride's offense is one where too long, guys are standing around a little bit too long.
2nd and 3. Wheelahan again to Martin. Looking for a block. Gets to the 37-yard line. 2 straight catches for Martin. That for a gain of 12. He has 44 on the year, but his numbers are certainly down from last year when he made the Pro Bowl.
Well, this time he's working on Ray Crockett, number 39. Crockett comes up to try and jam him. Tony does a nice job of releasing inside. Now he comes back to the ball, feels the defensive guy closing on him. Now he's looking for a little help downfield.
7. Brown dives forward to the 40. Brown came into the game with 816 yards rushing. That's 7th in the conference. If he gets to 1,000, he gets the remaining $300,000 of $1 million bonus. You know what he wants to do on every play. Let's run.
And of course, he didn't play last week because of that knee problem. We saw him 2 weeks ago when he hurt himself. And, you know, he's going to have to play himself back into tempo in this game as well.
2nd and 7. They'll go with 3 wide receivers. Here comes the blitz. Wheelahan unloads. A short gain to the tight end, Freddie Jones. NFL Prime Monday, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. Mike Tirico, Sterling Sharp, and Mike Golick preview the Monday night game between the Packers and the Vikings. We'll have live reports from the Metrodome. Chris Mortensen with the latest NFL news, and Leslie Visser goes backstage with Packer defensive lineman Gilbert Brown. Tomorrow night, Prime Monday. Gilbert looks bigger without the uniform.
Oh, what a man. That is a man's man. Man's man is what he is.
3rd and 3 here in San Diego. 7 up in Denver. Wheeling, quick toss. Fletcher cuts it back. Nothing. Nice job defensively. Atwater came up. Keith Traylor was also there.
Mike, that's the problem you have when you try and do quick things to the perimeter of an offensive line. The safeties are always right around the line for Denver. Here comes the motion. Freddie Jones goes down and block. All of a sudden, Atwater reacts. He cuts off where Fletcher wants to go, forces him back into pursuit where Mobley can make the play.
Bennett has the punt to Gordon again. Darian drops back to the 10. Short kick, and it will take a Denver bounce back across the 25-yard line. They keep it away from Fletcher, but it's a punt of only 30 yards.
Chargers 1997 team pictures now available at souvenir stands around the stadium complex.
Terrell Davis, just like everyone else in the National Football League, when you talk to him about Barry Sanders, who he is chasing, they just stare wide-eyed in amazement at what the guy can do.
You know, we had a chance to sit with him last night, and we talked about he and Barry Sanders. He knows what a running back should be able to do, and he sits there and he looks at Barry and he says, he can't do that. The man just can't do that. I know what you're supposed to be able to do. Such admiration he has for Barry. It's unbelievable.
He said he can watch films of other guys and maybe steal something, but you can't take anything away from Sanders because it's so instinctive. Completed pass to Sharp up to the 35-yard line, and Shannon gets his first grab of the night. That's 55 on the year. 5 Pro Bowls for that young man.
And he draws an awful lot of attention. This time they're going to try and cover him with Rodney Harrison and Junior Seau. He feels the pressure, sits down right in the hole. See how he doesn't drift? He just turns and gives John a stationary target to throw to.
Coming off the game break. Great move by Davis. Dumas makes the tackle, but not till he's at the 48-yard line. Looked like it wasn't going anywhere. 18 yards on the run, 54 yards here in the first quarter for Terrell Davis.
Sean Lee, number 98, looks like he's got a shot at him. Sean Lee comes on in there. He's right in the hole. I know I'm in the hole. Where'd he go? All of a sudden, he sees that little bit of crease outside and takes it up the field.
Came into the game needing 126 yards to overtake Sanders as the NFL's leading rusher. Almost halfway there already. Davis again. He'll lose a yard on this one. Buried by Sean Lee that time. Fool me once, don't fool me twice. That's the end of the first quarter. We're in San Diego where the Broncos lead the Chargers.
McDonald's presents the breakaway of the day.
Early fourth quarter, Jets and Bills tied at 10. Buffalo quarterback Todd Collins, Delani Johnson. Look at this play. Boom, right there. Bowls over Victor Green. Does go all the way. 62 yards. Bills win 20-10. Jets fall back and with three-way tie for first. Mike.
And Boomer, that's going to make our game next week. Detroit at Miami even more important for the Dolphins as well as the Detroit Lions. from the 47. Blitz, they pick it up. Elway floats it to McCaffrey, wide open to the 21. He beat Terrence Shaw for 29 yards.
You know what I loved about that play, Mike? Two things. First of all, John Elway has got McCaffrey running pretty wide open. He throws it where he's going to get a completion, and McCaffrey does a good job of coming back with the ball. Little post inside. Shaw tries to jam him or hold him or something. None of it worked. McCaffrey does come back to make the play. Two good things there. Make sure the completion as a receiver and the quarterback.
McCaffrey, who enjoyed great success in San Francisco, had a Super Bowl ring out there. Empty backfield for Elway. To Sharp, a little low and behind him, couldn't hold it. Mike Shanahan's offense is moving up and down the field, Joe, and 158 yards tonight. We're barely into the second quarter.
And they've done it throwing the football. It looks like that's the way they want to go. They want to loosen up this Chargers defense, throwing first, then they come back with the run.
Sharp points wide left. Elway over the middle, and that's the second tight end, Dwayne Carswell. Ball comes loose, and the Chargers say they have it. Dumas with the recovery inside the 15. Now will they say it's down? They do.
John goes back to set, has to get rid of it quickly. There it is. No, that's a good call. That knee hits the ground and then the ball comes out. I think that's a good call. Not like the one that was in the Kansas City, San Francisco game today.
Denver maintains possession. Willie Green checks in as a third wide receiver. And with the play clock winding down, Elway wants a timeout. 13:31 to go in the half.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Saturn. A different kind of company, a different kind of car. By Visa, the official card of the NFL. It's everywhere you want to be. www.visa.com. And by Gateway 2000, direct personal computer.
Chargers defense trying to get something going here on 3rd and 3 for Denver at the San Diego 16.
Hey, the guy you got to keep an eye on down here, Mike, is Shannon Sharp. He's so good at moving between linebackers and safeties.
Sayas shows blitz. Elway to McCaffrey. That'll be a first down near the 10.
He got the one-on-one coverage. The one thing that I've noticed so far in this football game, Mike, is Denver has thrown a number of different formations at this Charger defense. Joe Pascal, the defensive coordinator of the Chargers, simply said that Gary Kubiak and Mike Shanahan like to throw a lot of different things at you. The multiplicity of the offense is the most difficult thing to prepare for.
And Elway already 10 out of 12 for 102 yards and a touchdown. Davis, such a patient runner. He waits for the block to be complete to give him a crease. Left side of that line, Nalen, Diaz-Infante, and Zimmerman opening a hole.
Junior Seau playing in the middle. Diaz-Infante, number 63, the left guard, just comes out and seals him. All you have to do is seal him. If you're meeting Junior Seau 4 yards down the field on a block, that means that Terrell Davis has picked up a lot of yards.
Davis again behind Griffin. Dumas up in a hurry from the secondary. He may have lost a yard on that one. Dumas picked up by Kevin Gilbride. He had seen him play in Houston when he was on the coaching staff there. An injury-plagued career, but he was originally a second-round draft choice of the Oilers. He has a lot of talent.
If you're a safety down around the goal line, if you sense a crease, if you feel that it's coming there, you have to go up and meet the running back.
3rd and goal. Comes the blitz. They unload for Smith. Now the officials say he's out of bounds. The officials staring at each other. One for a touchdown. The other signaled out of bounds. Finally, they got together and said he was out, or was he pushed out?
He was pushed out, Mike. That's what they're going to rule. They're going to rule that it's a touchdown because he would have come down with both feet in bounds had he not been pushed. There he goes up to try and make the play. Now, they're saying that he was pushed out.
Oh, that's awful.
It's a horrible call. All Shaw's trying to do, he doesn't necessarily push him. He just can't keep his foot in bounds.
Oh, that's absolutely...
That's a bad, bad call.
Elam with the point after. And it's 14-0. Smith with the great catch, but they get a break and lead 14-0. For Denver, Joe, we've looked at all the replays. I still don't think he was pushed.
I don't agree. He goes up to make the play on the ball. Now, he's trying. You see, Mike, if he'd got his left foot in and got pushed out, I would have said, okay, fine. I don't agree with it. Both officials made the call. I don't agree with either one of them.
Kenny Bynum, deep to receive. He'll take it at the 3. Across the 20 as a crease. Bynum in a foot race, finally knocked out of bounds near the 40-yard line. A return of 57 yards.
Kenny Bynum here. Now, this is what Kevin Gilbride likes about this kid. He's making some plays. He does a good job of staying on Aaron Craver's tail. Then he hits the open space. And Kevin says he feels like here's a kid who can make some plays. And you know what I like? He didn't try and get cute and cut back. He picked up as many yards as he could.
Brown, the single setback behind Wheelahan from the 4. Good protection, a throw on first down. And he's got 9 to Frank Hartley. The NFL on ESPN continues this Thursday at 7:30. Beginning with the NFL tonight, join Chris Berman and Tom Jackson for the latest NFL news. Then at 8, Eddie George and the Tennessee Oilers take on Boomer and the Bengals.
Well, that's my new hero in sport, Boomer Esiason. I mean, for his son Gunnar, for him, what a true professional. What a great job, even though they lost today.
What do you have? 4 touchdowns today?
Just unbelievable.
2nd and a yard for San Diego. Brown trying to get the first down and does inside the Denver 30. A week ago, San Diego was giving San Francisco everything it could, and they threw what appeared to be a tying touchdown pass late in the game. But Isaac Davis, the starting right guard, was called for early movement, one of many penalties that he had this year. And Kevin Gilbride said, as hard as everybody else was trying, I simply couldn't let the situation continue. And he cut Isaac Davis from the team. And the man who's taken his place, Troy Sienkiewicz. I think that sent a good message to the rest of the team.
What a message.
Wheelahan on first down. Complete. Martin has another first down. It appears near the 16-yard line in front of Darian Gordon.
It looks like Craig Wheelahan is settling down a little bit. The eyes don't look like headlights of a deer anymore. They're a lot more focused. He comes back, he sees everything, see him just looking around, does a nice job of setting. Good job by the offensive line. Martin keeps both feet in, makes the play.
San Diego with its best offensive showing of the game so far. Brown breaks the tackle. Gary Brown running hard. They'll mark him down near the 7-yard line.
And that's a nice job again by Craig Wheelahan. They came to the line, even though it was an 8-man front, he still stayed with the run. You're directing traffic. The right guard, number 65, he's going to pull around, make the block, and allow Gary Brown to pick up the yards. Comes around the end, does a good job of kicking out. That's on Steve Atwater, the strong safety, who was hanging around the line of scrimmage.
It will be 2nd and a yard for the Chargers. Brown again runs into his own man and then dives forward to the 5. That should be enough to move the sticks. Romanowski made the tackle.
What Wheels has got to do now, he's got to get him in the huddle. See how they're walking sort of back? You got to get him in the huddle. Get a little bit of a tempo going. You got Denver on skates backing up a little bit. Get something going. He'll learn.
In the red zone, they have been downright awful. Only 6 touchdowns, and 19% of the time is all they've scored in this situation.
Like they've only scored 13 all year.
All through. Fletcher and Metcalf check into the lineup. They want a fake reverse. Wheelahan throws, and it's nearly intercepted right in the hands of John Noble. That was just ugly.
I'll tell you, if he doesn't get it, I have a strange suspicion that Braxton might have had a second one, because he's trying to go to Metcalf in the back of the end zone. Fake the reverse, you make the throw. Mobley going up. That's the kind of breaks the Chargers need, as you saw. Not very happy with that. Boy, has he come on in his second year.
Just a tremendous athlete. We've got a timeout called by San Diego. 7:59 to go in the half. Broncos on top 14-0, but the Chargers have the ball at the Denver 5, second and goal. Chargers offense trying to do something it hasn't done in quite a while. Score a touchdown. 9 quarters and counting. Wheelahan changing the play again. Give it straight up the middle to Craver, and he is stuck at the line of scrimmage.
That was the down where you had some options, Mike. On second down and 5 on goal from around the 5, you got a chance to go play action and or run. Kevin Gilbride decided to run. Now you're basically locked into a situation where you have to throw the football. I'd still work to the tight end. I'd give Freddie Jones and Frank Hartley an opportunity to make a play here.
They'll get one more shot, presumably, at breaking that streak. They don't make it here, you'd think they'd have to go for the field goal. Wheelahan over the middle, incomplete. Flag down. Hartley was double covered, Braxton and Mobley. Excuse me, Freddie Jones with the double coverage. And they will call a hold against Denver. First and goal, San Diego.
Holding. Number 25 to the defense. Half the distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
That's
That was Darius Johnson.
Right. What happens, Mike, is you get a big guy like that, you know the little guys have to hang on. Darius is only 5'9", 185 pounds. Freddie is so much bigger at 260. There he is, he just sits down. Wheels tries to slide it in, but actually he was, you know.
They were calling it on whoever the receiver was behind the tight end. That's where Darius Johnson was.
That was Eric Metcalf.
First and goal all over again. Brown. And he may lose a yard.
Alan Aldrich, number 57, does exactly what a middle linebacker should do. From tackle to tackle, you have to fill the hole. Boy, he does a terrific job of sliding out and making the play.
And, Joe, those plays out of the eye seem to take so long to develop.
They do, unless you can get a launcher like a Marcus Allen, who can leave the ground at about 4 yards, find a crease, maneuver his body into the end zone. Gary Brown is not a leaper. This is, again, a second down. This is a good play action down.
Out of the eye, tight formation. Brown, same play, same result. Keith Burns, number 56, the first man there, and the Chargers now have 11 carries for 20 yards on the ground. They're getting no movement up front on the left side.
Well, you know what it is, Mike, is the number 56, the linebackers are filling the hole. The offensive line's trying to create something, but you just have too many people around the line of scrimmage. Everything the Denver Broncos is doing on defense is moving towards the line of scrimmage. You've given them no reason to back up or go forward.
And we've got another timeout with 5:55 to go in the half. Wheelahan wants to come over and talk it over. And this is a critical situation for San Diego when they have the lack of offense that they've shown in the last couple of months, really all year. You've got to score in this situation.
And you need 7, not necessarily 3. You know, if you were moving the ball fairly well as an offense, you had a good feeling about yourself, I think that 3 would be okay. Now you really need to cut the lead in half.
NFL Countdown every Sunday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Join the distinguished faculty of Bristol University for the best pregame show in the NFL. Then at 7 o'clock, all the day's highlights on prime time. Then at 8, Barry Sanders and the Lions take on Dan Marino and the Dolphins. If you like statistics, you'll love this. 5 plays inside the 10, no yards. Spread the field. Wheelahan. Touchdown, Martin. It barely got over the outstretched hand of a defender, but it did.
I think it almost actually went through him, Mike. I think Tony Martin was as surprised as anybody. He's just going to throw it out to the left. It's a great call. What you want to do is just throw the fade. Good loft on the ball. It goes right over the outstretched fingers of Ray Crockett, number 39. He just has his hands a little bit apart, slides right by him.
Greg Davis to cut the lead in half. And it's 14-7. Tony Martin has more touchdown catches since the start of 1996 than anyone in the NFL. That's his 6th this year. At 5:51 to go in the second quarter here in San Diego. 14-7 Broncos, and that's Greg Davis set to kick it away. Only has 1 touchback this year. Dead last in the NFL, and Von Hebron 4th in the conference in kick returns. 25.9 is shot. Hebron from the 10. Across the 30. Still on his feet to the 36. Let's go to Ron Jaworski.
Thanks, Mike. Terrell Davis is the kind of back that offensive linemen, they just love to block for. He's very patient. He sets up their blocks, and then he reads those blocks. You'll see the patience right here, getting the ball deep in the backfield on the pitch. Now the patience, gliding into the hole. There, watch the eyes. Looks back to the inside, frees the defense, knows that's the lane that he wants to hit. As we keep it rolling, you see, there's the lane. He hits it. There, the contact, yards after contact. Great patience, once again, you'll see here. Stutter, slows down, hits the hole right there. Patience getting in hole, sets the block. And here's the key with Terrell. Downfield, he will set up those blocks, Mike.
One of his great strengths, Jaws. Here's Elway throwing to Smith. Dumas wraps him up. The ball is loose. Seau has it for San Diego. And now one of the officials comes in to say it was down. And the Chargers will not be happy with that one.
You see Smith trying to fight for some extra yards. And the knee was on the ground about the same time. That's a tough call right there. Watch the left knee. Just about the same time.
Especially when you see it in slow motion.
That's right. You see it in slow motion. The official makes a tough call here. I think he made the right call.
Elway, 12 out of 14 so far. He's been brilliant. Elway in a little half roll. Floats this one out of bounds. Let's go back to Jaws.
Thanks, Mike. One thing about Terrell Davis is he gets you positive plays. In the NFL, every play would like to be 4 yards or more. That's offensive efficiency. As you can see, he's carried the ball 9 times, but 6 of those times have been for 4 yards or more. Coaches love that. And the one thing about Terrell Davis, he not only runs the ball well, as we saw earlier, he picked up the blitz nicely, and he can catch the football. He's a guy that I'm going to look forward to watching down the stretch in that quest for 2,000 yards, Mike.
And you wouldn't want to bet against him getting it either, would you, Jaws? This kid is tough. 2nd and 10. 4-man rush. Protection for Elway in the flat to Davis. And easily picks up 14, 15 yards to the San Diego 36.
Michael, he's a big part of this offense, not just running the football, but that was his 34th reception so far this year. He gets out and gives John a place to throw the football. And that was the one thing in talking to John Elway that he discussed regarding Mike Shanahan's offense. He said, you always have a place to go with the football. You want to look downfield, but you have outlets to go to, and that was a case in point there.
Beautifully designed and wickedly efficient. Terrell play to Davis. Slips it back. Terrell Davis to the 27-yard line, a gain of 9, and he is just hammering San Diego. 10 carries, 62 yards in the half.
Sean Lee is going to be having nightmares about Terrell Davis tonight. Habib, number 75, comes. There's Sean right in the middle again. He's got him again. No, he doesn't again. That guy got away from him one more time. Does a wonderful job of being an inside runner, too.
5'11", 210, but he's much stronger than those statistics would lead you to believe. Davis again. Big hole up the middle. Inside the 20, another first down. This Denver club so very impressive with all the weapons they have.
You know, Mike, Alex Gibb, the offensive line coach, is a terrific offensive line coach. Probably you can make one of those arguments, one of the finest in the game today. His offensive line engages a defensive player. They don't want to necessarily take him different places. They just want to engage him and let Terrell decide where he wants to go. There's Alex, the assistant head coach. His offensive line has been the big reason why the Broncos are where they are this year.
From behind, loose ball. Zimmerman has it. There's a marker down. That's going to be a hold on Zimmerman.
Yeah, but what a great one.
Yeah.
Still.
It'll be in his highlight reel.
That's like 11, 12-yard run. There's an offensive lineman's dream.
Was fumbled by the quarterback, legally advanced, but during the play we have holding number 65 of the offense, 10 yards, repeat first down.
Zimmerman with 7 Pro Bowls called for the hold.
Gary Zimmerman winds up with everything this particular play. He's on Ray Lee Johnson, number 99. He tries to drag him down. The ball bounces in the air. Now watch the running he does. Shifts the ball. Now he covers it up, winds up with about a 13-yard gain, all for naught.
Receiver that's a full screen. Elway gives it to Davis. Terrell Davis to the 20. They get back most of the yardage lost on the penalty. Harrison with a stop. And Denver is not going to have to run another play before the 2-minute warning. The numbers on Davis, he needed 126 to pass Barry Sanders. He already has 79, averaging more than 6.5 a crack. We have reached the 2-minute warning. We'll be back to San Diego right after this. One of the world's most enduring corporate symbols, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California, giving us these beautiful aerial pictures tonight. The 72nd consecutive year that Goodyear has been attending sporting events. It's now a 2-man race for the NFL's best in the rushing department and for 2,000 yards. And Terrell Davis inexorably closing in on Barry Sanders tonight. Look at the average for Barry Sanders. 6-1. It's virtually obscene. 2nd and 11. Chargers jump. Elway throws on the run to Sharp. Taken down by Harrison at the 19. Now we'll check the mark.
John does such a great job of utilizing every aspect of the game to gain an advantage.
Offside. Number 99 of the defense. 5 yards. Repeat, 2nd down.
This time he uses a hard count to get just 5 yards. I call it a cheap 5. You know, if you're in a 2nd or 3rd and long and you want to try and get to a more manageable distance where you can use play action pass, you go to a hard count. That's exactly what he did. Now he's got 2nd down and 5 instead of 10.
The numbers on Elway so far. He's passed Johnny Unitas tonight. Number 3 all-time touchdown passes. Chelsea Marino out in the flat. Dangerous pass that time. Harrison right on Sharp, but he made the catch at the 10. They'll mark him out at the 11. What an assignment Shannon Sharp is for anybody, even a guy as good as Harrison.
Well, you know, Kevin Gilbride made the point when he was talking about Shannon. He says, for us, he's a matchup nightmare because, you know, you put linebackers on him, you put safeties on him. Sometimes you have to go with corners on him. It's just so hard to figure out who to cover him with.
And they still haven't found anybody that can do it. Denver wants a timeout with 1:50 to go in the half. Mike Shanahan, an interesting article in Sports Illustrated talking about the room between the offensive and defensive meeting rooms. And when you and I read that, it was like he was spying on his players without their knowledge. And he said last night, look, the players knew I was there. All the light controls are in there, the air conditioning controls. They know that room is there. Occasionally, I just walked in there early and heard somebody say something. He said, I wasn't spying on anybody.
No, and it's in their hotel room, in their hotel where they stay. The nice thing about it, he can watch both meetings. If he goes and attends one or the other, he misses part of it. This way he has a chance to see it all. But you take a look at the record over the last 2 years.
Just sparkling, 23-5. Only the 49ers can match it. The Packers just behind. And Mike Shanahan has done an incredible job of putting together a team that is a legitimate Super Bowl contender. Davis, big hole up the middle to the 5. It'll be another 1st down. Fuller and Harrison combined on the stop.
That time he ran behind David Diaz-Infante and Nayland right up the gut.
Diaz-Infante replacing Mark Schlereth. They hope to have him back for the playoffs. He had his 20th surgery.
There wasn't a need for a change.
No, finally. Davis again. Dragging a man to the goal line. No signal yet. Now there is touchdown.
There they are. The Terrell Davis fan club, all 40+ of them.
Dumas had him and couldn't hold him, and Terrell Davis showed us just how strong he is. And that is his 13th rushing touchdown this year.
They just really work the middle of the football field. I mean, they work between the tackles, and you just count on, if you're going to have a two-back, the guy that's got to make a lot of key blocks for you is the fullback. In this case, it's number 29, Howard Griffith, and he's responsible for Junior. There's number 29. There's Junior right in the middle. He's going to come right through there and make the play. Here comes number 29, leading it. Stays on Junior, turns him, and allows Terrell to get in the end zone. Now he's hit a good 4 yards from the end zone and manages to get in.
Howard Griffith was a free agent pickup from the Carolina Panthers.
Mike, every offense has to have a hammer. I call it a hammer. That's a guy who's your fullback or maybe another tight end who can just go in and pound the middle linebacker or pound into a defensive lineman. And Howard Griffith is their hammer. And he hammered Junior on that one.
And very seldom will you see Junior stay out blocked out of a play like that. You know, to him, it wouldn't matter if you're 0-15 or playing to win the Super Bowl. You get the same effort no matter what. from the 5. Stopped at the 15. Lincoln High School here in San Diego, a school very proud about producing a pair of great running backs. Future Hall of Famer Marcus Allen and Denver's Terrell Davis. Although old number 7 was a nose guard there. And it was on this field where he earned all city honors at that position. And Terrell Davis says he has to keep that mentality, that nose guard fullback mentality, the way he runs. It's not tricky. What you get is what you see.
He said it was really good that he wasn't fast because a lot of fast guys just use their speed, and then you get to this level, you don't have to work on all the little moves to try and make people miss.
See if San Diego tries to do anything in the final 110. Wheelahan under pressure. That one's hit and it's intercepted. Picked up by Atwater. Steve Atwater tapped it. Neil Smith got to Wheelahan, and Atwater got to the football.
That's why the Broncos got a Neil Smith, somebody who could bring heat from the outside. Very athletic, very experienced. When you know somebody's going to throw the football and wants to throw the football, Neil Smith has a distinct edge.
Atwater with the pick, the franchise record 7 Pro Bowls for the free safety. And the point after by Elam is good. It's 28-7 Denver.
Neil Smith, number 90 on Tony Birdie, number 75. Smith just pushes back, comes around, and those really long arms just manages to hit, wheels his arm. Got a torn tricep on his right arm, just manages to get it in there, knock the ball up in the air. And I got to tell you, that is the most sickening feeling as a quarterback. Because you don't sense that arm coming in, and when it gets hit, it just floats in the air, and you just hope it goes to the ground.
And the easiest pick Atwater is ever going to have. And with the defense and special teams producing 10 touchdowns this year, that ties an NFL record and exceeds their total from 91 through 96. And if the defense plays up anywhere near the offensive potential of this Denver club, they're going to be tough to beat by anybody.
I think home field is very critical, though, Mike. I really do. Watching Kansas City today and how well they played at Arrowhead, you know, Broncos have to be conscious to want to get them at Mile High if it boils down to that.
The Chargers in a lot of trouble now, down 21. Bynum at the 2. Gets it back to the 24. Coming up at halftime, Chris Berman, the fastest 3 minutes in television, all the highlights, including the Bengals and the Eagles. What a shootout they had. And the Shark upset at home. 55 seconds left. Well, we wondered what San Diego would try to do with 1:15 to go. They turned it over. Now with 55, we'll see what they do. They only have 81 yards in offense in the first half compared to 250 for Denver.
Yeah, and you know, with 55 seconds, you still have 2 timeouts. I still think you try and put something on the board. Kevin Gilbride is trying to get this team ready for next year and taking a look at players in different situations. This is when he gets a chance to look at his quarterback.
Wheelahan throws underneath the Still. Brought down at the 27 by Romanowski. The Chargers, of course, are going to have to make up their mind. If Stan Humphries doesn't come back from the concussions, is Wheelahan the guy, or does Kevin Gilbride, along with Bobby Beathard, go out and look for a quarterback in the offseason? And this is Wheelahan's audition right here. They want to take that one off the reel.
Well, Greg Robinson, the defensive coordinator, almost had an interception on that one. Managed to knock it back. Stan Humphries, I talked to him this week. He's feeling better. The headaches have basically subsided, and the doctor said it would be a month after that they anticipated him playing. Of course, the season would be over at that point. He's going to make a decision in the offseason.
Such a competitive person, and I think such a talented Wheelan trying to set up the screen and throws incomplete. That's not the way they did it in practice.
No, if you're having trouble completing screens, you're having real problems with your offense. That was going to be a middle screen that just never, ever saw any kind of daylight.
Bennett on to punt to Gordon. Still 25 seconds to go in the half. NFL record 13.8 for Darian Gordon. From the 21. Not much there this time. Ball comes loose. And the official is going to mark this one down as well. The San Diego Chargers looking for a break tonight, and they certainly haven't been able to get one.
Well, the ball has come out 3 different times from the Broncos. Every time a Chargers picked it up, it hasn't meant anything. He's on the ground. Yeah, that's a good call. I mean, the fans don't like it, but it's still a good call. His knee's down. Broncos will kneel on this one with 9 seconds to go in the half.
And they're replaying the fumble or lack thereof on the big Jumbotron screens here. That's why the crowd is booing, but as you can tell from our angle, he was down before the ball came loose. And Elway will take a knee. That's the end of the first half with the score. Denver 28, the Chargers 7. Now let's join Chris Berman to the Acura halftime report.
All right, Michael, thank you, and welcome back to halftime. So the Broncos trying to get in the playoffs with a win. The San Francisco 49ers were already in the playoffs, but they're looking for home field advantage. And why not? They've won 11 straight games. They're only lost this year, the opening day back in the month of August. They're going to Kansas City, where the Chiefs have been very, very tough, especially as a home underdog. They beat the Broncos, of course, a couple of weeks ago. But the game of the day, it was supposed to be a showdown, turned out to be a shambles. Here we go, as the Chiefs made mincemeat of the 49ers. They won it every direction. Rich loose cannon to Andre Bad Moon Rise and a touchdown. Steve Young was sacked 5 times, hit hard all day long. The Chiefs defense was relentless. Blocking in the middle of the line, tremendous by Kansas City. Marcus Allen, untouched, 21-3 in the second. Then watch Marcus look like Bob Cousy to Bill Russell. What? The 10 pops and nice job of the footwork. 44-9. Chiefs over the Niners. More on that game later. Jets and Bills. Jets come in first place in the AFC East. And late in the third, Neil O'Donnell and Keyshawn Johnson tied at 10. Early in the fourth quarter, no one circles the wagons like the Bills. Todd Collins, boom. Lonnie Johnson, 62 yards. Bills beat the Jets 20-10. Jets balled 8-5. Colts and Patriots. Drew Bledsoe. Offense sputtering, but here, Detroit Browns ban without a touchdown. Down by 10, Jim Harbaugh tries to mount a comeback. Harbaugh to Sean Dawkins, 20-17. Onside kick on the way. But Ben Wintercoat buttons it up with the Patriots. They're now in first. Time of the Jets at 8-5. Dolphins, 0-9 lifetime at Oakland. But Dan Marino to Charles Jordan. Beautiful play. Let him go. 44 yards, 17-7 Miami. Miami 24-10. Zach Thomas. Boom. Tim Bowen. Give me that. Give me that thing. Touchdown. Dolphins also at 8-5. They went 34-16. Bucks and the Giants, two of the best stories to come along in a long time. Trent Dilfer, well done to Warwick Dunn. Down the sidelines, setting up a touchdown of the second quarter. The Bucks lead at 7-0. Now 7-3 in the third. Mike, you're in good hands with All-Star. 20 days, the Bucks have clinched a winning season for the first time since '82. Rams skins. Tony Banks dumps it off to Ant Lee. And Ant Lee does it, well, amply. Down to the 4-yard line. Setting up in a tie game. Jeff Wilkins, good! Rams win for the first time since September. Upset the Skins 23-20. Steelers card in the desert, where the Steelers are 0-3 lifetime. Jerome Bettis, one of his 3 touchdowns. Steelers lead it. 11 seconds to go with time to 20. Joe Nedney, 46-yarder, no good. To overtime, to the 10-yard line. The Bucks, boom, boom, touchdown. He had 100 140 and change. The Steelers win 26-20 in OT over the Cards. Ravens, Jags. Jags had a big lead, but Eric no time to wallow in the Zaire. Touchdown to Eric Green, 29-27. 2-point conversion. Oh, it's the draw. He trips inadvertently over Jonathan Ogden, and the Jags hold on to win their 13th straight at home, 29-27. Falcons, Seahawks. Warren Moon to dump to Steve Broussard. Great play by Broussard against Atlanta. Moon passes Joe Montana, fourth all-time on the touchdown pass list, 274. But Lenny McGill made it a bad move, and the Seahawks are falling fast out of the playoffs. Atlanta up 24-17. Saints, Panthers. Billy Joe Hobart, been a Saint for 2 weeks. Now he's a priest. Touchdown. Touchdown to Hastings, 13-3. Doug Bryan, they win it in overtime for Mike Ditka. Hey, I love this job. 16-13 Saints.
This halftime report is presented by Acura, the true definition of luxury. Yours.
When we return, a little more from Kansas City on their rousing win over the Niners. They got safeties by the defensive score, a block punt. They had everything. And a wild shootout at the vet between the Birds and Bengals.
Welcome back to the Acura Halftime Report with your host, Chris Berman.
28-7 Broncos at the half, and a good thing for Denver that they're leading because Kansas City is right on their heels. Boy, they just made mincemeat of the Niners, handing the Niners their worst loss since a playoff game against the Giants in 1986. They control the line of scrimmage, especially the interior line of Dave Zott, Tim Grunhard, Will Shields. They won really in every aspect of the game, and they're winning 44-9. Andre Bad Moon Rising caught a pair of touchdown passes from Rich Gannon, 5 sacks by the defense. They forced 3 turnovers. Chief said, hey, how about a little Aretha Franklin?
They played a great team. No one wants to say it, no one wants to admit it, but they played a great team, and you guys can keep picking us as underdogs. We don't care, because once the whistle blows, it's not up to you anyway, it's up to the players. And I hope people can see that now. For week in and week out, we don't supposed to be here anyway, so we're just having fun.
Well, the Chiefs are 10-3. They're a half a game right now behind the Broncos. And even if Denver wins, their schedule is much tougher. They're at Pittsburgh, at San Francisco, before home to San Diego, whereas Kansas City is home to Oakland, at San Diego, and home to New Orleans. If they end up tied with the same record, let's say the Chiefs win them all and go 13-3, and Denver loses one and go 13-3, Chiefs would win a tiebreaker and get home field in the AFC. Just keep that in mind as you watch the game tonight. Hey, what a game we had at the vet. Let's go. Cincinnati and Philadelphia. You think that who cares about this game, right? Well, we had a youngster, second-year starter, Bobby Hoying, against the veteran Boomer Esiason, and they have breathed life into their club. Hoying to Michael Timpson, Eagles scoring early. Boomer Esiason to Darnay Scott. Look at the smooth pass. The Eagles start to pull away. Hoying on a third down play to the fullback Kevin Turner at Circus, catch 34-21 Philly. But Boomer comes back to me and Tony McGee. It's down to 34-28. Then Esiason to James Hundren. He caught a pair of the youngster for Portland State. The Bengals up 41-35. They take the lead 42-41. No timeouts left. You think Hoying is a veteran. In his third start, look at him calmly to Irving Fryer with no timeouts left to give Chris Bonio a chip shot. Bonio, 31 yards. It's good. The Eagles win at 44-42, 1,004 yards in total offense. Each quarterback had 4 touchdown passes. Boomer says, hey, 42 points. What, that's not enough? Boomer, 378. Hoying, 313. Throwing in the Eagles at 6-6-1. They've never been above 500 this year, but they are in the hunt. Well, it is the time of year when we play a lot of big golf tournaments in other parts of the country. Greg Norman has won the Australian Open, his home tournament, if you will, 5 times. Here we go to Melbourne. Could he make it 6? He had a 2-stroke lead, 2 holes to go, but he bogeys 17. And on a 10-foot putt, he misses on 18 for a bogey to force a playoff with England's Lee Westwood. This guy, what a name he made for himself at the Ryder Cup. Keep your eye on him. Oh, he almost holes from 60 feet away in the second playoff hole. Third playoff hole. Bunker shot by Norman. He almost holes. We go to a fourth playoff hole.
Neil Smith with the tip, and Steve Atwater with the interception. The Broncos with a 28-7 lead. We'll be back for the second half kickoff in 30 seconds. San Diego, where it's 28-7. The Broncos over the Chargers. Let's take a look at the first half statistics, and they pretty much say what you think they would in this ballgame. 110-20 rushing. The total, 249-84. And, of course, the two takeaways by the Denver defense. I mean, it's all Denver.
And then the big thing is, take a look at the yard, besides the +4 rushing, yards per play, 7.3 for the Broncos, 3.1 for the Chargers.
Greg Davis to kick to Vaughn Hebron. From the 5. Straight up the middle to the 30. And a flag is down at the end of the play. Robert Chancey made the tackle on the Chargers special teams.
Receiving team during the run back. 10 yards. First down.
Joe, what was your mental attitude on a team as good as Denver, and certainly you played on some great teams, when you had a big lead coming out to the start of the third quarter?
The big thing is you want to maintain what you've been doing, Mike. I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Shanahan comes out and treats this next series against Kevin Gilbride's defense exactly the same way. Throw to establish the run. That's the way he went the first half. He wants to keep this thing rolling. They've suffered a setback last year when it got too lax. They won't let that happen again.
Davis trying to catch Barry Sanders. Let's go to Ron Jaworski. Jaws?
Yeah, thanks, Mike. To play the 4-3 defense, your linebacker has to make plays. So far, Junior Seau on that first half has struggled when he's on that foul block, which is the back on the backer. Here you'll see Junior settles. There he is, Howard Griffith on the foul block. Back on backer. Picks him up once again. There's Junior. Settles in the hole. Boom, back on backer. Blocked again. The bob block has been very effective. Right here, you'll see Howard Griffith come in the screen. Now watch him loop around. Back on backer. Blocks Junior again. He's got to attack the hole and make that play at the line of scrimmage, Mike.
Elway throwing on second down. Harrison knocks it away, but it's caught by Shannon Sharp at the 45-yard line. A gain of 28. And now they're going to bring it back. One official signaled the pass was caught and down at that point. Another official came in and said, no, it wasn't caught in the first place.
The Broncos are allowing an awful lot of balls to hit the ground, which has got this fan chip here going nuts. There he is. He's got it. That's a catch. I don't understand how it can be called incomplete.
I think they're saying he never had possession.
Well, he's on the ground. He's got possession of it right there.
Boy, that's close. Away from McCaffrey, just off his fingertips, another flag. That's going to be interference on Paul Bradford.
And that's just a case of John Elway knowing how big Ed McCaffrey is. He really extends his arms to try and make a play on this
Pass
ball.
interference. Number 25 to defense.
Bradford only
First down.
5'9" against the 6'5" McCaffrey, and you're right.
That's the matchup you want. But watch where the ball is thrown. Bradford takes the inside. Watch outside and high. Only one place and only one person could get that, and that would be McCaffrey.
Automatic first down for the Broncos. Davis tries to take this one outside. Able to turn the corner for a couple. Let's go back to Jaws.
Mike, the Broncos have been very effective running the ball inside, which I think would surprise most people with Junior Seau inside. But they rushed the ball 13 times inside for 71 yards and a touchdown. Junior's been involved with 6 tackles, but there's a surprising number. He has been knocked on the ground 2 times. If they're going to try to stop Terrell Davis, he's going to have to be more aggressive. They're going to have to use more line stunts and blow things up in the backfield, Mike.
Of course, they moved Junior to the middle. Jaws because of injury, normally an outside linebacker. Elway double pump and throws complete to Smith across the 40-yard line. Out of bounds, they rule. Terrence Shaw in the coverage for San Diego.
You know, the one thing Ed McCaffrey was talking about regarding John Elway, when he has has an opportunity to throw the ball, because of his arm strength, he's able to wait for a receiver to come open. He doesn't necessarily have to anticipate it, take something off the ball. He can wait till the receiver makes his break, gets open, then fires the ball. That's very unusual, Mike. Most of the time you have to anticipate it and let it go.
And even in his 15th year, there doesn't look like there's been any decline in his arm strength. Chargers come on the blitz. Elway scrambling. Throws for Sharp. Coverage by Harrison. Harrison's done a pretty good job on Shannon Sharp.
You know, he just allows his receivers to make plays on the ball. Even if a guy is covered, he has such great confidence in Shannon Sharp that he's going to throw the ball and let him out-muscle it away from the defender.
Eric Metcalf. Boy, Metcalf and Gordon in this game, you really expect some fireworks on punt returns. But this is the first punt for Tom Rowland tonight. And a good one. Metcalf at the 18. Straight up the middle. Metcalf. He beats Ryan, but he's slowed him up. Chamberlain is not going to catch him. Touchdown.
Michael, you couldn't have called it more. You got two of the best punt returners in the game, and we just saw one of them. 83 yards right up the gut.
That is his third return of the year for a touchdown.
He hits this thing, slides a little bit narrow, take it right up the middle. Good job by the blocking unit. They gave him a lane. Now you expect the punter to catch him? I don't think so. And can really run. Woo.
That was something. The point after makes it 28-14. The Chargers fall back into the ballgame here in the third quarter. And it's 28-14 here as Denver still leads by 2 touchdowns. Edmonds to the 25. Eric Metcalf has had such a brilliant career. That was his 9th punt return for a touchdown. That is the best ever, breaking the tie with Jack Christensen of the old Lions and the former Bronco Rick Upchurch. What a brilliant kick return guy he has been.
You know, I just don't understand why somebody with that much ability isn't worked into the offense a little bit more.
And total kick returns as well, 11, as he's had 2 kickoff returns. Elway back to action for Rod Smith, and incomplete. And Smith may have gotten away with a push-off against Terrence Shaw.
I'll tell you, Mike, Elway's receivers do a fabulous job. Smith, Sharp, and McCaffrey all do a terrific job of going after the ball when it's in the air. This ball is thrown quite a bit short. Terrence Shaw just runs by. Smith lets him go, but can't quite hang on to it, but does a nice job of trying to stop to come back and make a play.
Elway hit 11 of his first 14, but has hit only 2 out of 8 since then. Elway with a lot of time. Throws for McCaffrey. It's like he still uses stick-ups.
You know, it's interesting. He really does, Mike. When you take a look at the way McCaffrey catches the ball, this is an out pattern, and he's got his right hand on top. You'll notice he doesn't use his body. It's all hands. He comes hard off the ball, does a good job of selling, even though he slips. Watch the hands. Catches the ball away from his body. Does a terrific job using his hands. Doesn't rely on it to come to his body.
First down from their own 42-yard line. Davis. This time stuffed at the line of scrimmage. talked to McCaffrey last night. I asked him, does he do the old Raymond Berry thing, practice really strange catches? And he says, yes, he does in the offseason, but it's more conventional once he gets into the regular season. But he can grab it.
Not with John throwing. There's nothing conventional about the way he throws. It's hard, it's high, it's low. Terrific hands. And, you know, everybody said, oh, this is a guy who's an overachiever. I don't buy that one bit. I think he's just one heck of a very good football player and an excellent receiver.
Patrick Jeffers checks in as an extra wide receiver. 2nd and 9. Here comes the blitz. Elway throws. Hands of Chargers Dumas, and he dropped it. There is a marker down in the secondary, however. Dumas blows a chance for an interception.
It's going to be defensive holding against the Chargers.
Holding, number 28 of the defense, 5 yards, automatic first down.
That's Dwayne Harper. And they've been hurt by penalties tonight as well.
That was a good call by Joe Pascal, the defensive coordinator of the Chargers. This time, he had an opportunity to have Junior come running free. Now, Harper is right there. There he is. Going to wind up getting locked up. Boy.
Didn't see much of a hold on that. Elway again to throw. Underneath. Davis. Got a first down. Shaw pushed him out of bounds. The Emmy Award-winning series Outside the Lines returns this Friday with Turf Wars, Gangs and Sports. Bob Lee and our investigative staff examine how the world of street gangs and sports intersect. They talk to a number of pro athletes who have maintained their ties to street gangs and a national championship football team that started 9 players with gang affiliation. An incredible show, Outside the Lines, Friday at 7:30. Some stunning information in that show. Elway on a naked bootleg. Throws to Sharp. He's cut down at the 27-yard line. Michael Dumas makes the tackle.
You know what I like so much about Denver's offense is you never know quite where John Elway is. You know, there's certain offenses, like, say, in New England, for example, where Drew Bledsoe's going to be in a certain place, or Dan Marino. With John Elway, he could be in the pocket. He could be rolling out to the left, rolling out to the right. He could play action and move. Mike Shanahan does a terrific job of moving him around and protecting him that way.
2nd and a yard. Davis. And Terrell Davis has just broken the 100-yard barrier again. He's down to the 21-yard line. 10 100-yard games this year.
Mike, you know, offensive line. Watch the offensive line's feet right here. Keep an eye on that. Watch the way they move, all in sync. Watch their steps. See how they move? All their footwork. Nice slide, just like a piano keys. Just moving all along, especially the right side. Sliding to maintain contact.
Elway to throw. Too low for Sharp at the 15-yard line. Harrison was right there.
You know, you talk to John Elway, you talk to Mike Shanahan. They are the first to tell you that the success that they're enjoying is in a large part because of the veteran nature of this offensive line. Gary Zimmerman, 12 years. Tony Jones, 10. Brian Abebe, 10. You know, Diaz Infante, only 3. Nayland, 4. But you've got a great mixture there of youth and experience. And he said the big thing is they just don't make mistakes.
2nd and 10 for Denver here. Smith the motion there. Play action again by Elway. Can't find anybody. Now throws to the end zone.
Touchdown, McCaffrey! No. Holy cow, what a catch! Oh. Wow.
Marco Coleman trying to get Elway. He floated it up there, and McCaffrey just snuggled it in.
John just violated every rule that a quarterback should follow. Don't throw back across your body. Don't throw back in the middle of the football field off balance. He does this. McCaffrey does a wonderful job of keeping his feet in bounds. That's Paul Bradford, 25, and Terrence Shaw, 29. Watching him make the catch.
Ed McCaffrey, 6 catches, 102 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 35-14 in the awesome Super Bowl will be here in San Diego. The Broncos on a mission after losing that playoff game to Jacksonville a year ago. They were stunned by it, and they have come out all year. They don't talk about it, but they certainly remember it. Kenny Bynum at the 10. Cut down at the 24.
Number 43, Kenny Bynum, takes it at the 9-yard line.
San Diego's Chargers defense has been through murderer's row. First, they had to face Warren Moon, 295 yards and a loss. Then Jeff George, 226 and a loss. Steve Young, 245, a pair of touchdowns and a loss. And Elway tonight, 202, 3 scores, and they are losing big time, 35-14. That is not an easy way to do it. Wheelahan takes over at his own 24. Good protection and throws incomplete. Flag down, Still and Crockett were tied up.
Well, the fans wanted to boo right away because the ball was low and outside, but the problem was it still couldn't get there anyway because Crockett was holding on to him. Oh, they're quick to turn.
Pass interference. Number 39 of the defense. Automatic first down.
There they are, running down the field. Still pushes. Crockett's hanging on. Oh, yeah. He's got him wrapped around the waist. You know, Ray can't plead that case. That's a tough one. A cool night here in San Diego. Buzzing some steam.
And the steam right now coming from the Chargers fans. Draw play to Brown. Runs into his own man and then into Bill Romanowski.
Ball carrier number 33, Harry Brown.
One of the problems the Chargers have had this year, of course, their offensive line. They lost 3 players who were starters last year, and they're going to need to rework some things. They picked up Raleigh McKenzie as their center. He's done a good job in the middle, but they've got some holes to fill.
Yeah, but Kevin Gilbride has said he's appreciated the way these guys have continued to try and fight. They're not as talented as they will be someday, but they're continuing to fight and hang in. That's what he's proud of.
2nd and 11. And Alfred Williams pays an early visit to the San Diego backfield.
Clark, number 70, 5 yards. It's still second down.
And Vaughn Parker drew him off sides. Rodney Harrison, he and Seau have played so hard this year and don't have a lot to show for it.
That's just a look of bewilderment. You see Junior Seau so fired up all the time. The eyes tell the whole story there.
Look at the total yardage disparity. It's remarkable. The Chargers yet to get to 100 yards. Wheelhand, that looked like it was tipped. And the crowd really turning on him now. Harold Hasselback was applying the pressure on Wheelahan.
You know, if you look at these two offenses, Mike, as an example, Wheelahan's a mobile guy. Moves around pretty well. You know, maybe not a great runner, but moves around. John Elway, he's throwing the pocket, bootlegging left, bootlegging right. Wheels just keeps going back in the pocket, and that Denver defense just keeps coming after him. If I was Kevin Gilbert, I'd try and move him a little bit more and get him away from the pressure of that defense.
And we've got a timeout on the field with 7:45 to go, 3rd quarter. Back to San Diego after this. These aerial pictures courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle based in Carson, California. Our pilot tonight is Tom Mattis. He's out of Huntington Beach. Terrell Fletcher is in on 3rd and 16. Wheelahan scrambling. Takes a whack before he goes out of bounds. Drilled by Darius Johnson.
You can't get out of bounds. They will take shots at you. That's the one thing that Wheels just learned right there. You make a decision to go, get out of bounds.
You can almost hear him say, oh boy, it's a quarterback. Wheelahan none the worse for it. And Bennett to punt to Darian Gordon. Gordon from the 12. Trying to get to the wall. And dragged down at the 28-yard line by Michael Dumas. Nice tackle after a 16-yard gain. 35-14 Broncos.
Tackle by number 20, Michael Dumas.
What about the boomer of him? 4 TD passes, 378 yards throwing, albeit in a Bengals 44-42 loss to Philly. Look at the number at the bottom, 1,004 yards in total offense in this game. Boomer has now been involved in 3 of the top 5 total yards games in the 90s, Mike.
And just the way he likes it, Chris. I mean, he still goes on. If Warren Moon can play at 41, why not Boomer Esiason in Cincinnati? We'll see them Thursday. Shannon Sharp wide open. Knocked out of bounds by Terrence Shaw. Gain of 23.
John has so many opportunities and weapons to go through. The little bit of a play action fake just freezes the linebackers enough so that he has an opportunity to put the ball right through a lane. What you're looking for as a quarterback is a passing lane right there. See the lane right here where he has an opportunity to have vision down the field? That's exactly what you're looking for.
That's not a lane, that's an interstate. Terrell Davis on the delay. Cracks through for about 8. Joe, we keep talking about Terrell Davis, the offensive line of this club, and they set it up for his running style.
They really do, Mike. You know, you have a front side and a back side. For example, you take a look at the right side of this Denver Bronco offensive line. That's the front side. That's where the play would be called. And all the offensive linemen will step out and engage a defensive lineman or linebacker. Now, the back side is away from where the play is called. They will do their best to try and create a lane so that as he takes the play to the right side, he'll have an opportunity to cut back and make a run. It's ever so slightly. You work towards the front side, wait for that lane, and then he hits it hard coming back.
McCaffrey makes the catch. It's another first down for the Broncos. Shaw makes the stop. The numbers on Terrell Davis right now, 111 yards for the game. He is 14 yards from catching Barry Sanders for number 1 in the NFL. 111 yards tonight, 5.8 a clip. Reads blocks as well as anybody in the NFL. Davis again, right for a clip. 10, 15 yards, belted out of bounds by Dumas. There's a marker down back at the line of scrimmage. Joe, he was telling us that he's got 2 speeds.
Holding, number 65, 10 yards. Repeat first down.
That's Zimmerman. He's got 2 speeds. Number 1 speed looking for the hole. Not that fast, he says. Then number 2, boom, through the hole.
And he doesn't hesitate once he makes a decision to go. You don't see a lot of dancing by him. You see a man with patience and then acceleration.
He'll lose those yards. It would have put him ahead of Barry Sanders in the race for the rushing title.
You saw Michael Dumas at the end of that hit give him a little salute. You know, we were talking to Terrell. He said, hey, the salute is for big hits and big plays. Dumas gave him one that time, so salute him.
You're down by 21. You shouldn't be saluting anybody. Elway dumps it to Davis. Sayal wraps him up, along with Michael Swift. Davis used to be bothered by migraine headaches. Can you imagine being a football player with all that contact, having migraine headaches? But they did some work, dental work on him, and it really improved the way his jaw and his teeth set. He also tried some nutritional things and some new medication, and it's really worked. He has not had a migraine in a year. That's right.
Since a few games back when they played San Diego.
I mean, you get enough headaches in this game. 2nd and 14. Davis, wide open on the left side. Dumas again takes him out of bounds.
This time the offensive line, instead of creating a crease, they just seal the corner and allow him to take it outside. All they're doing, Mike, is taking the Charger defense where they want to go. Ray Lee Johnson just took a little bit of a hesitation step inside. That means that Junior's got to run all the way from the middle to try and knock him out of bounds.
In only 3 years, he already has 3 season records, including 1,580 yards rushing in a single year, 3 1,000-yard seasons, and 20 100-yard games in just his 3rd year. And he already has the 3 best single-game performances of all time in Denver history. Terrence Shaw collided with Junior Seau trying to make that last tackle. So Seau's taking out everybody, even his own teammates, in his effort to make a play. Terrell Davis now needing only 3 yards to catch Barry Sanders. Couldn't find 2 nicer people to be in a battle like this.
No, I mean, they really, and you know, it's interesting. There was such admiration by Terrell Davis for Barry Sanders, talking about his unbelievable abilities. Remember, he comes out of a high school where there's a pretty decent running back that went there as well. A guy by the name of Marcus Allen, who Terrell says he never saw play. Marcus, and don't take this bad, because he was too young to remember when he was playing there.
Of course, Davis already one of the premier backs in the NFL. We asked Kevin Gilbride and Junior Seau, what makes him special?
I think the thing that distinguishes him, as it does most great players, is the pride that he brings to the game. I mean, every play, there's a great determination to extract from that play as much as he can get out of it. Every inch is important to him.
Terrell Davis has a great vision. You know, I'm taking nothing away from the guy. The guy's talented, but the vision of the field is one of the most impressive things that I've seen.
And you could really tell when players respect their opponent, can't you?
And I think that's the most important thing that one player can have for another or teammates is respect, Mike, and they do.
Terrence Shaw slowly coming off the field. 3rd and 3 for Denver. Already up 21 points, driving for more. Davis on the toss. Seau can't make the tackle. Dumas has to force him out of bounds. It's another first down. Denver at the 20. Davis tonight, 21 carries, 14 of them have gone for 6 yards or better.
And he runs with such control, even though he turns the corner. We know Junior Seau can run. That time he manages just to get a step, stay in bounds, to pick up the first down.
You know, Terrell Davis downplays his speed, but that second gear isn't bad.
George Allen, who he played for as a freshman at Long Beach State, called him Secretariat. That wasn't a bad one either.
Davis again. Behind Griffith and Zimmerman. Harrison brings him down as he reached the 6-yard line. Swift had him around the knees. And Terrell Davis has regained the NFL rushing lead from the great Barry Sanders.
Watch the left side, Mike. They're just going to take this thing down and give him a crease to be able to run right up through it. Shannon Sharp even doing a terrific job of blocking. That's the one area that Shannon said he wanted to work on. He wanted to work on his blocking. He knew they were going to feature Terrell a lot in this offense, said that's the area he wanted to improve, and he certainly has.
142 yards for Terrell Davis. Looking to add to the total. Davis. No signal. They'll mark him down just shy of the goal line. Patrick Sapp and Rodney Harrison kept him out of the end zone, at least temporarily.
The family was loaded and ready to go. Everybody was up on their feet.
Number 56, Patrick Sapp.
Here's the story with Davis and Sanders. A 22-yard advantage right now for Terrell Davis. They will battle back and forth as both have an outside shot at reaching that storied 2,000 barrier that only 2 other players have ever made.
But Terrell gets Pittsburgh and San Francisco the next couple of weeks, too.
Yeah, not easy. Nothing doing in the middle of the defense this time. And asking a guy to average between 130 and 140 yards a game at the end of the year when there's so much on the line is asking an awful lot. And you know Mike Shanahan will get it for him if he can. But his main job is to have this team ready to go into the playoffs. And not just one individual statistics. Elway to throw. Davis couldn't hold it at the 1. Sayal got out there on coverage.
Good pressure by Rodney Harrison coming off the corner to force John to throw it off balance. That's what really makes the play. Watch number 37. He's coming in hard. His pressure doesn't allow John the opportunity to make a good throw outside to Terrell.
And they'll go for it on 4th down. Davis is out. Vaughn Hebron, number 22, is in. McCaffrey in motion. Elway to the back of the end zone. McCaffrey was double covered. And you could see he wanted McCaffrey on that motion the way he hit him the first time. Couldn't find him and eventually threw it away. William Fuller was the pressure on John Elway.
Welcome back to San Diego. This offseason, the Broncos acquired pass rush specialist Neil Smith to put quick pressure on the quarterback. And tonight, he has done that even with a heavily bandaged arm. Here you'll see him working against Tony Birdie. The quick burst off the line, up the field, the quickness. He gets in Wheelahan's face, tips the ball. The quick outside pass rush makes the play. Once again, quick to the outside. Oh, he recognized the back in the backfield to double team. Cuts back underside Tony Birdie again. Gets a hit on Wheelahan. This is the type of quick pressure that the Broncos coaches love to see from Neil Smith, Mike.
And the reason they picked him up as a free agent from Kansas City, Jaws. Wheelahan now has to start from his own 2 with 52 seconds to go, 3rd quarter. Movement up front. Quick jump by Vaughn Parker. That'll cost him half the distance.
Here we go.
This is a team with the 2nd most false starts in the NFL entering tonight's game.
Mike, they make an awful lot of calls at the line of scrimmage in Kevin Gilbride's offense. And if you've got offensive linemen sitting there for a long time, they're going to get antsy. I think you got to speed up the system just a little bit. Let them get set and go a few times.
Wheelahan to throw out of the end zone. Intended for Still and overthrown. Good coverage by Crockett. Let's go to Jaws.
Thanks, Mike. Neil Smith, although playing with one arm, has been very effective in this game. Here you can see 6 quarterback pressures. And what you love about Neil, he gets in the quarterback's face quickly. That'll break down the timing and rhythm. Of course, the one big hit on the quarterback and the batted ball, which resulted in a touchdown. It's amazing when you watch Neil Smith. He can still make plays from that defensive end position. The Broncos love his playmaking ability, Mike.
7.5 sacks this year, Ron, tied for 7th in the conference. Really upset that Kansas City did not make more of an effort to keep him. Four-man rush against Wheelahan. Still will make the catch up near the 8-yard line. Taken down by Darian Gordon. Gordon's made a real contribution at corner. Torrey James was going to be that starting right corner, and he had a season-ending knee injury, so Gordon, who was signed mainly as a punt return man, and brilliant at that, obviously, but he has been a terrific corner. He played on the Chargers Super Bowl team at corner.
2 sacks, 3 interceptions, but extremely productive there.
3rd and 3 for San Diego. Wheelahan throws. They got the first down out near the 17-yard line. Frank Hartley, the tight end, on the pass from Wheelahan. That's the end of the 3rd quarter. It's 35-14 Denver with the lead in San Diego. Mariachi band performing in the Gaslamp Quarter here in San Diego. A lot of history and tradition here in Southern California. Home field, of course, we've come to realize means just about everything. And right now, Denver would go to 11-2 if they can hold on to this rather comfy 21-point lead tonight and go ahead of Kansas City. And they have a tough schedule coming up. Denver, this is the first of 3 road games. They play at Pittsburgh and at San Francisco. But I think they're up to the task, Joe. And San Francisco showed some holes today.
And John Elway basically said, hey, look, we feel like we have to run the table if we want to keep home field.
Chargers on 1st and 10 as we start the 4th quarter. Wheelahan throws incomplete. And Hartley looked like he was looking at the guys who were closing on him rather than the football.
And I like that. Kevin Gilbride decides to move him a little bit. I think he has enough athletic ability to get him away from the pocket and move him around a little bit. That shows a little diversity in the offense.
Kevin Gilbride said when he came here, he knew there was not going to be much margin for error when they lost some players early to injury. The writing was on the wall. Fletcher and Metcalf are in as wide receivers. Fletcher remains in the backfield, and now Wheelahan changes the play. Blitz, Wheelahan throws short. A special Sunday night NFL next week on ESPN as the amazing Barry Sanders goes for an NFL record 12 straight 100-yard games. Watch one of football's all-time greats as Detroit takes on Miami next Sunday at 8. When you say a guy's gone over 100 yards the way Terrell Fletcher has tonight, you say, geez, that's a great game. Barry Sanders has 11 of them in a row. Or Terrell Davis, 11 in a row. Great game after great game after great game. Wheelahan with the screen. Terrell Fletcher. Slammed down by Atwater as he got to the 42.
There's a case where Denver put a lot of pressure on Wheelahan through the course of the evening. This time they decide to let him come after him, and then he dumps it off. But screens are set up by the quarterback. Here he does a good job of staying in the pocket and making the defenders come to him and then swinging the ball out quick to Fletcher.
There was a 25-yard gain before that. The best gain for the San Diego offense all night was 13 yards. First down out at the 42. Wheelahan with time, throws underneath to Martin, and he's wrapped up in a hurry by Crockett after a gain of maybe 3.
Tony Martin, the big play guy on this offense, just has not been able to get in sync. And, you know, it is tough, Mike. When you change quarterbacks as much as San Diego has been forced to, it's hard to get in a rhythm as a wide receiver.
Wheelahan facing 2nd and 7 here. Guns this one, and it's intercepted. Tim McKyer at the 41-yard line. Wheelahan turns it over again, and Denver's back in business. The well-traveled Tim McKyer with his 2nd pick. And are they going to roll this incomplete?
Yes. As a matter of fact, they do. Greg Robinson can't believe it. He wants to say it. And the throw winds up off the side.
That never hit the ground.
Boy, that's close. I mean, the officials tonight have had to make some very close calls. I'm not 100% convinced that ever did hit the ground.
No, that ball did not hit the ground. That was a pick by McKyer. But a break for the Chargers. Wheelahan with another screen. And again, Fletcher with good yardage.
Oh, my, what a catch he made. I mean,
that's a bullet on the screen.
It's like catching a BB in the dark. I got to be honest with you. I know that you're supposed to get the ball there in a hurry on this particular type of screen, but in a hurry and like unbelievable is ridiculous. This is just a great reception. We talk about long runs not necessarily having to be great. What? That ball just fired to him. He's got to jump to catch it. Then he still has the presence of mind to get down, get upfield, and make a first down.
Wheelahan needs to develop a little more touch on those
Just
screens.
a little touch would be okay.
Blitz on Wheelahan. He unloads. Martin makes the catch at the 38-yard line. Fletcher, of course, the kind of back drafted out of Wisconsin that they hoped would replace a guy like Ronnie Harmon, who was so successful as a third down back for them. But he really has not put up those kind of numbers, although he came into this game with 33 catches. But Harmon was an exceptional third down back. Bobby Beathard, the general manager of the San Diego Chargers, built 2 Super Bowl teams, Washington and San Diego. Wheelahan looked like he had a little bit of a rhythm there. Martin bobbled the ball and he was out of bounds.
That's just a lack of concentration by Tony Martin. He knows where the sideline is.
Boy, Wheelahan disappointed, too, because it was another good throw.
Well, he should be disappointed. You know, it's the job of the receivers to be able to protect you and make plays. Crockett's not really near him. He just sort of keeps on floating. You know, just gets up in the air. Doesn't even make an attempt with the tap-tap. That's just a bad job of concentration by Tony Martin.
You really have to make a little bit better effort than that, even if you're down 35-14 and your record's 4-8. Early movement, they'll whistle it dead.
And this will be on Vaughn Parker, number 70.
It is, it would be his third tonight.
Prior to the snap, ball start. Number 70, 5 yards.
Isaac, go ahead, Mike.
Isaac Davis had 3 last week. He got a bus out of town. Cut from the ball club. I don't think the same fate awaits Vaughn Parker.
Last 2 plays, Kevin Gilbride's offense, Tony Martin and then Vaughn Parker, just showing a lack of concentration. This is when you really got to work at the game, too, when you're behind.
All-out blitz. Ball batted down at the line of scrimmage. Tyrone Braxton got up and got it. Well, they brought everybody.
Well, you know, on 3rd and 1, I think it's a heck of a call. You know, basically, if you bring everybody, the offense has a blitz break-off. They have to throw it, or you're going to tackle them. And so what you do is you rush a few steps and jump and knock it down. Very well defensed. 4th and 8, and the Chargers obviously will go for it. Down 21. Kevin Gilbride with absolutely nothing to lose. Metcalf go left. Wheeler in with time, and that's Martin. First down inside the 25-yard line. Good throw by Wheeler, 19 yards. It's a good job by the offensive line this time. Even though the Broncos only brought 4, they do a nice job of standing up. The offensive line working hard, doing everything they can. Joe Kukuzo fighting off Alfred Williams, giving Wheels a chance to get the ball out to Martin. Wheelahan certainly shows sparks. He shows moments. He's in one of those moments now. Another blitz, throws this one incomplete. You know, when we talked to him Friday night, he basically said, my job is I've got to play mentally for 60 minutes. Physically, you know, he can throw the football and move around. But mentally, he's got to stay in a game for 60 minutes. And that's what Kevin Gilbride wants to find out about him. They've had 2 plays in the last couple of series. As you see John Elway maybe stretching it out a little bit on the sideline. Wheelahan has thrown a blitz route, and the receivers have not picked it up. They're not on the same page. This drive, already 14 plays. 4-man rush this time, another screen, and again, a ball that was not thrown with a great deal of touch to Frank Hartley. Well, you know, I think this is a tough screen to throw as a quarterback. I never was asked to throw these really short screens right over defensive linemen. This is one where he tries to get it right in the middle. There's a little middle screen. He tries, it gets tipped a little bit at the line of scrimmage, and therefore the ball winds up being off to the left. That's not Wheels' fault. Frank Hartley felt like, you know, the quarterback should have gotten there, but it was tipped at the line.
to Charlie Jones. Jones inside the 15. He needed to get to the 14-yard line for a first down. Gordon and Atwater make the stop.
I believe they will get the first down.
Tackled by Gary Gordon.
He's got it. Got it by the nose of the football. I'm on a roll, Mike.
Yes, you're 1 for 1.
Well, it's
the best you've ever done.
Better than the past years. Okay, I'm 1-1.
Well, you blew your streak.
Well, you got to take a chance every now and then.
They need an inch for the first down. And they'll send in their short yardage lineup. Gary Brown checks back in.
Greg Robinson on defense for the Broncos coaches the same way Mike Shanahan calls plays on offense. Very aggressive. Both of them like to attack the line of scrimmage. There's one of their attack guys, Neil Smith.
The Broncos have been terrific on fourth down conversions. San Diego has not. Brown has it. Turned back by Trevor Price, the first-round draft choice out of Clemson, and John Mobley. And ESPN college basketball tradition continues this Tuesday with a great 8 tournament from the United Center in Chicago. At 7:30, number 10 Utah takes on Providence, followed at 9:30 by a pair of powers, number 3 Kansas, number 4 Arizona. Then Wednesday it gets even better. Carolina, Louisville, Kentucky, and Purdue. North Carolina with a remarkable comeback against Purdue last night. Wheelhand flag is down. Hartley makes the catch, gets to the 5.
Pass complete to Frank Hartley. There is a penalty flag.
Could be a chop block called against San Diego.
We have an illegal chop block, number 69 and 75, one high, one low. 15 yards. Repeat, first down.
Tony Birdie and Ben Bordelon. This is where it gets ugly for linemen.
Now for defensive linemen. Keith Traylor coming around number 94. You see him on the left side, but look at the other one. One offensive lineman cannot be in contact when another offensive lineman hits the defender, and that's the problem there.
But in their defense, that was not
below the waist.
Yeah, that was not a dirty play.
No.
They ended up banging into each other. Got a timeout with 9:42 to go in the ballgame. It's still 35-14.
ESPN Sunday Night NFL is brought to you by Holiday Inn Hotels. We're making every Holiday Inn as good as the best Holiday Inn. By Fidelity Investments, where more than 7 million Americans trust their retirement savings. And by the Mercedes-Benz M-Class, the first 4x4 that performs like a Mercedes.
We're in the fourth quarter with 9:42 to go in the game. It's Broncos in control, 35-14. San Diego with the ball at the Denver 28. First and 25 for Wheelahan and company. All day to throw, and off the hands of Metcalf. He beat double coverage and just couldn't hold it.
Boy, he gets a terrific amount of pass protection on this one. Good job by the offensive line. Again, even though the Broncos are bringing 4, he sits in there. His throw is just off of Eric's fingers. Boy, McKyer and Braxton just annihilated one another.
And one of them is still down. It looks like it's McKyer. We'll check on his condition when we come back to San Diego.
Resorts. Pay your price and customer service.
Great communications.
It's the Gaslamp District in San Diego. One of the big tourist attractions here in beautiful Southern California city. Reminder of days gone by, and they are priming themselves for the Super Bowl. About 8 weeks from now here in Qualcomm Stadium in San Diego.
Moving back, telecasting more than anybody during the course of that week.
2nd and 25. Houlihan wants another screen. Fletcher wrapped up this time and dropped in his tracks by Alfred Williams.
Oh, you can't cry wolf too often. That time they went to the cookie jar just once too often. Alfred Williams was not going to be fooled. Just hung around the line of scrimmage and waited to make the play. And number 91 right over yonder. As he slides in there, he's going to make the play. Slides in, sees it, feels it, then reacts.
Went to the Pro Bowl for the first time last year. He had 13 sacks. They picked him up from Cincinnati where he was unhappy. Going to be a flag on that play. And this drive will stay alive on an interference call. Darian Gordon with the penalty. This is the drive that won't die no matter what.
Number 23 of the defense, automatic first down.
This thing has a life of its own.
This is a drive that took a quarter.
Yep. This drive, 88 yards, and 18 of the 19 plays have been passes. Only 1 yard shy of what they did their first 7 drives combined tonight. Complete to Metcalf, gets ground, and dives inside the 20. NFL Prime Monday, tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern. Mike Tirico, Sterling Sharp, and Mike Golick preview the Monday night game between the Packers and the Vikings. We'll have live reports from the Metrodome. Chris Mortensen with the latest NFL news, and Leslie Visser goes backstage with Packer defensive lineman Gilbert Brown. Tomorrow night, Prime Monday. 8:20 and counting here in San Diego. 2nd and 2. Houlihan is really getting some work on the old arm tonight. He throws wide of Metcalf on that one.
The offense just still isn't on the same page. Here, you're basically in a 7-on-7 drill. They're rushing 4. You're dropping 7 back in coverage. You know, Eric Metcalf saying, look, you know, you want me to go out? You want me to sit down? He just sat down, waiting for the throw to be right at him.
Current drive approaching the 8-minute mark.
21 plays.
And they've still only reached the Denver 19. This one's first down at the 5.
That time they got on the same page. Eric Metcalf goes down and works into a hole in the middle. He's in the slot, number 21. Releases inside. Now this time he just keeps coming. That's a good throw.
Chargers first and goal from the Denver 4.
Houlihan slides it in between the defenders.
And goal. Fletcher on the draw. Short of the goal line at the 1. Fletcher does not have a rushing touchdown or receiving touchdown this year. Kevin Gilbride looking for a play that'll get him into the end zone with 7:05 to go in the game. Bill Romanowski is intense as they come for that Denver defense. Jerry Brown checks in. Houlihan on the roll. Tries to run it in. Lost the ball. Picked up by the Broncos. Let's see how the officials rule. Still looking at each other. No indication of whether it's down or not. to say it's down. Boy, there have been some late calls on these things tonight.
There goes Wheels. Now he's going to try and make a play. Gets up in the air. That's a fumble.
That's a fumble.
It's a fumble. I don't know what. He doesn't go out of bounds, I believe. He launches himself in the air. Now he leaves himself. He's in bounds. Okay, the ball's out of his hands. His left hand is on the ground. Here it is again. His left foot hits the ground. The ball comes out before he falls out of bounds.
Well, that should have been a fumble. Neil Smith injured as well on the play. There have been some strange calls tonight, and San Diego gets a break on that one.
Well, this one they just flat blew. And the ball never leaves the playing field. The quarterback doesn't go out of bounds, so...
No, just because his body is in the air out of bounds, he's not out of bounds.
But even though his foot came down, Here, take one more look at it. Keep an eye on his foot and when the ball comes out. Watch that. The left foot is down. The ball is out. There's absolutely no question that that is a fumble.
No, couldn't be much clearer than that. And it's picked up by Keith Burns. And now Neil Smith will walk off slowly. Unbelievable. This is the 26th play of this drive coming up.
I've never seen one this high.
I can't ever remember seeing a 26-play drive.
Yeah, this is a record.
Harold Hasselback will come in to replace Neil Smith. He's 96. Mike Lodish, also number 97, is in on goal line. 6:33 to go in the game. 3rd and goal. Brown. Touchdown. Well, it took him about 45 minutes, but the drive produces 7.
It's a good job by the offensive line with some push up front. Gary Brown just finds the hole, creases it, and winds up landing on the line. There they go. They get down low. There's the hole. Aaron Craver creates a little bit of a crease for him as well, and he slides on in.
Boy, and Raleigh McKenzie did his job as the center. He turned Keith Traylor around. And it looks like we had a false start on the point after.
We have a neutral zone infraction on the defense. That penalty will be enforced on the kickoff.
So they'll try it again with Greg Davis. He was signed when John Carney was hurt earlier this year. Neil Smith playing injured all year long. And Gary Brown's touchdown run cuts it to 14. This is a good year traveling over 100,000 miles a year to bring you these aerials. San Diego lining up in an onside kick formation.
Very unusual one. Everybody bunched in the middle of the field.
Never seen this one. Now they go one way, back the other. And it's recovered by Denver anyway. Keith Burns. So the Chargers pulling out all the stops on special teams, but Denver gets the football.
Seemed like an awful long way for guys to go to try and recover an onside kick from the middle of the field all the way out to the side. Rick Dennison, his special teams have been real special this year.
Longest scoring drive in 4 years, 25 plays, 98 yards. Took over 9.5 minutes.
Felt like a week.
Denver's offense, Terrell Davis. 30. 20. Michael Dumas finally took him out of bounds. Well, Terrell Davis had a nice rest and picks up 24 yards on that one. He has 171 for the night.
Number 63, David Diaz-Infante, does a nice job of sealing. And then Brian Abib, number 75, comes around, and Terrell just follows him up through the hole. His mom in Denver watching tonight. Didn't make the trip. Proud of her young man.
Davis the other way. Tripped up this time, dives forward to about the 18-yard line. Junior Seau with a tackle.
You know, John Elway pointed out something very interesting about this offense, and it has to do with the offensive line as well as Terrell Davis. He said that we have very few plays this year that have been negative plays.
Yes.
They always wind up with some type of positive play, which means you're coming up 2nd down and 9, 2nd down and 8. You're not going 2nd down and 14, 2nd down and 15.
Clock running. We approach the 5-minute mark. Denver by 14. Davis. Seau got him around the ankles, brought him down to the 13-yard line. Terrence Shaw on the sideline as his club will fall to 4-9 this year. Been a tough year for San Diego. They expected a little bit more than this, but they were so close to being a 500 team. When the injuries hit, Seau's been hurt twice, that they really didn't have any margin for error. Rushing yards tonight to walkover. Elway to Sharp, couldn't hold it inside the 10. Rodney Harrison on coverage, and Harrison looks like he may be hurt. Grabbing his right hamstring. If Dwayne Harper was hurt earlier, he re-aggravated a hamstring that's plagued him for 2 years. Boy, Harrison is in pain.
It looks like cramps, really, Mike, and in both of them. When you get that, you try and bend the toes back as much as you can and stretch that muscle. Shannon goes down, breaks about 5 yards. Rodney breaks on it. When he makes the tackle, now all of a sudden they both cramp up on him. Now both those hams look like they're going to go. They're locked up right now.
Boy, that's, as much as that hurts, that's good news. Cramps go away, hamstrings don't.
When was the last time you had one?
Been about 20 years.
Yeah, you're right. It does hurt.
I remember.
And you know, and the thing is it grabs you and just, you know, in the calf or in the ham. It's unbelievable.
Coming up Thursday night, we will be in Cincinnati, where Eddie George and the Tennessee Oilers will take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Certainly Tennessee now part of the playoff picture, as are the Lions and the Dolphins. We'll get to see arguably the two best players who ever played their position, Barry Sanders and Dan Marino. Sanders will now chase Terrell Davis and 2,000 yards. Marino will be chasing the playoffs and that ever-elusive return to the Super Bowl.
Big win today out in Oakland for the Miami Dolphins. Puts them in a 3-way tie in the AFC East.
And Cincinnati certainly producing offensive fireworks with Boomer Esiason at the controls.
You know, and Jeff Blake is going to be the quarterback in Cincinnati.
Sure.
You know, Boomer has done such a wonderful job as a mentor for Jeff, going back to the city and just doing the job he has to as a quarterback for now. There's no controversy there. Just another guy getting a chance to play, and the young guy will get back in eventually.
They, of course, lost Carl Pickens, their leading receiver, injured and supposedly is not going to play anymore this year.
Well, he just can't walk.
Harrison in obvious pain. They're going to have to help him to the sideline. And he says, I don't even want to do this. course, we have mentioned Terrell Davis chasing the 2,000-yard barrier that only 2 other players have ever reached in NFL history. Through the first 13 games, and Davis not quite done yet, only trailing O.J. Simpson in total yards through the first 13 games. He's now ahead of Barry Sanders, and here's how they finished. Dickerson, the all-time leader, and what they would have to average from now on in order to crack that barrier. 118 yards a game for Davis, Barry Sanders 135. Denver lines up to try the field goal, 32 yards, and Elam knocks it through. So the Broncos answer an 8-minute, 33-second drive with a very rapid one of their own and 3 points. Line from San Diego, Terrell Davis, 178 yards on the night. He leads the NFL with 1647 on the year and needs 118 a game in his remaining schedule for 2000. Metcalf sets an NFL record tonight with his 9th career punt return for a touchdown. And Denver has just dominated San Diego statistically and realistically on the field. Bynum from just outside the 10. Nearly broke it, got it out to the 32-33-yard line where Tony Beelan out of Nebraska made the tackle.
Tackle by number 32, Tony Beelan.
Kenny Bynum worked a lot from scrimmage last week and showed some real speed in the running back spot for San Diego.
And Kevin Gilbride feels that Kenny Bynum is probably the only back that he has that can take it all the way. He has that kind of speed.
Wheelahan tonight certainly put up better numbers than he did a week ago against San Francisco. 50% completions, 173 yards and a touchdown, but he does have the 2 interceptions. Here comes the blitz. Wheelahan throws behind Metcalf. Now, Joe, everyone has talked about this as Craig Wheelahan's audition for next year. And based on the numbers he's put up in the last 4 games, I don't think we can say that he has certainly gained the confidence of the coaching staff that they wouldn't go look for someone else.
No, he hasn't. And mentally, he hasn't really made good decisions. In each game, he makes a crucial mistake. Made one in Seattle, put the ball on the ground. Fumbled the last one we did a couple weeks ago. Fumbled the ball in the game when they were in it with Oakland. So each game he makes a big mistake in. Threw the interception in this one earlier.
Draw play to Fletcher wrapped up by Romanowski as he gets to the 35. Talked earlier about Romanowski, how aggressive and how intense he is. I read a funny story about when he was with San Francisco, they were in practice, and he leveled Jerry Rice. Said that got him into a fight with 45 guys. And they all attacked him. And he fought all 45 of them. Wheelahan throws. Good grab by Metcalf. Number 21. That'll be shy of a 4th down as Mobley made the tackle.
Number 51, John Mobley. We get 5 yards.
Sports Center follows our broadcast. Trying to move personnel around on 4th and 2. And now movement up front, they'll blow the play dead.
That was about as close to undisciplined situation as you'll find.
Encroachment, number 94, 5 yards, first down.
You know, Mike, when I was in a 2-minute drill as a quarterback, what I always try and do, you call 2 plays in a huddle. What I always try and do is keep the formation exactly the same. Keep the receivers on both sides so you didn't have a lot of traffic. You didn't need a wide receiver to run from one side of the field to the other to get into a formation. You try and make it as easy for guys to get set up as you possibly can. That last one, Wheelahan's toughest job was directing traffic.
Bad snap. Wheelahan one-hands it and runs away from trouble. Sidearms the pass incomplete. About the only negative you could come up for Denver tonight, the number of penalties they've been hit with. 10 flags, 4 for 77 yards, 6 of them called against the defense. But I think overall Mike Shanahan's going to be quite pleased with the performance.
You'll get that when you have an aggressive defense. You'll get guys jumping off sides a little bit. You'll get a little pushing by the corners. But as long as you got number 7 back there, a lot of good things can happen for him.
Can't stress enough how much the players like playing for Mike Shanahan.
He's got a heck of an offensive coordinator with him, too, and that's Gary Kubiak, who he's groomed and brought along.
And is very high on. Draw play to Fletcher. Breaks out of a couple of tackles. Ball comes loose, picked up by one of the Charger linemen. He will pull forward for 6 or 7 yards. That's Troy Sienkiewicz. Parker was there with him.
Ball recovered by the Chargers.
Here comes the blitz. Wheelahan has it tipped up in the air and nearly intercepted. Neil Smith had a shot at it after Darian Gordon knocked it away.
That one was too easy for Neil Smith. That one was just too easy. That ball's coming down. He short arms it when he tries to make the play. Greg Robinson continuing to put pressure. Darian Gordon comes off the top, jumps in the air, hits him in the helmet, and there's Neil, and he just short arms it. He just can't get his arms out. As long as his arm's off, he can't get out to make the play.
Trying to keep the drive alive. They do get the first down to the Denver 42-yard line. San Diego has gone for it 3 times in this game on 4th down. They've made all of them.
Gain of 3.
Intended for still too high, and Atwater just unloaded on it. We have reached the 2-minute warning at 1:58 here in San Diego. 38-21 Broncos. Coming up next, Sports Center, Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne. They'll bring you up to date on all the stories. 49ers and Chiefs highlights, mostly Chiefs highlights. Larry Brown returns to Indianapolis. Our conversation tonight is with John Elway. That's followed by NFL Primetime at midnight Eastern with Chris Berman, Tom Jackson, and Stuart Scott wrapping up all the action in the NFL. Atwater with his typical thundering hit at the end of that last play. Wheelahan tries this middle screening into Fletcher, and a flag down. They're going to call interference or holding. Alfred Williams is right in the middle of it.
What they actually wind up calling is an eligible man downfield. That's a quick slip screen. The alignment, they've got to hesitate on a count and then go. This time they just took off.
Number 70, ineligible downfield, 5 yards. Repeat, second down.
That's Vaughn Parker. 4 penalties on Vaughn Parker tonight, 3 false starts. Well, let me tell you, Alfred Williams thought he was guilty because he immediately started complaining to the official.
He's been right in the middle of those last 2 screens that the Chargers have tried to throw.
2nd and 15. Here comes the blitz. Wheelahan unloads in a hurry, and Martin dropped it. Ray Crockett with coverage. That'll bring up a 3rd and 15. Terrell Davis with another sensational night, leading the Denver ground game.
Got some new braces on top. Says that's helped out a little bit as far as the headaches go, he thinks.
And his mom now living in Denver, making sure he gets the right food all the time.
Well, John Elway is such a class act and really enjoying football this year.
Another blitz. Wheelahan unloads to Martin. Gets away from Crockett. Dives for a first down. There's a marker down at the end of the play. Looked like a face mask. And they'll stop the clock.
Well, the last 2 times they've come after Wheelahan, and he's hung in the pocket real well, made the throws.
Face mask, number 39, 5 yards. Result, first down.
There it is as Martin stops. Just a little touch.
Ray Crockett, who was beaten on the play. Wheelahan changing the play. Throws too high and outside, incomplete as Crockett was covering Martin that time.
Mike, I got to be honest with you. At this stage of the game, I don't know what you're changing to. You're changing plays at the line of scrimmage. I mean, I think you just call some stuff and execute it. They're either going to come after you with everything or they're going to lay back in the zone. There isn't really any much of a gray area for Wheelahan as far as looking at that Bronco defense.
Only 1:37 left. Play of this drive coming. Seems very diminutive compared to the last one. Draw play to Fletcher. Does a nice job of following his block to get down to the 20-yard line. John Mobley with the tackle.
Mobley in his first year said last year he tried not to make mistakes instead of making plays. This year he knows where he wants to go. Now he's making plays.
3rd and 2. Floated to the end zone, incomplete for Martin. There's a marker down back at the 30. It's going to be roughing the passer.
Foul. Roughing the passer. Number 90 in the defense. Half a distance to the goal. Automatic first down.
Neil Smith.
Tony Martin up top of your screen does a nice job at the line of scrimmage. Selling Crockett gets him inside. The ball is actually thrown inside, so it's hard for him to make a play. There comes Neil Smith around Tony Birdie and basically bumps into Wheels. Hey, the officials have not done, I think, a very stellar job tonight, and I don't understand that one either.
From the 10, Fletcher. Smith had him by the collar and brought him down. Well, when you were playing, that kind of bump would have qualified as a Christmas greeting.
I mean, you've got Tony Birdie locked up against Neil Smith. It's not like he was running scot-free and he bumps into him. Kevin Gilbride is still going to have to find out some answers about his young quarterback.
Pressure on Wheelahan, rolls away from it. Throws to the end zone and dropped by Hartley. Had a second shot at it and couldn't hold it. That was some throw that time by Wheelahan. Hartley should have had that ball.
Pass incomplete. Intended for Frank Hartley.
Wheelahan getting outside. Good-looking throw. Winds up the ball, just gets tipped. That's the second time that Hartley's had a chance. First time on a screen. On this particular one, the ball just gets tipped, and he can't quite hang on to it.
Well, that did make it a much tougher catch. 3rd and goal for the Chargers. Wheelahan, touchdown, Martin. Metcalf.
Hey, one thing he's found out about his quarterback, the kid will hang in, which is a big part of this game, being able to hang in there in adverse conditions.
Wheelahan gets the score to make it 38-27. Davis with the point answer. 38-28 with 28 seconds left to go in the game.
Extra point try is good by Greg Davis.
Eric Metcalf, number 21, is the inside receiver. He goes down and does a nice job, starts to work to the corner. The ball is thrown back behind him and does a wonderful job making the adjustment back on the ball. That's Darian Gordon trying to cover him.
You almost expect those kind of throws anymore out of quarterbacks. When they see some defensive back with their head not turned around, they're going to throw it behind somebody.
Exactly, Mike.
Let's go to Ron Jaworski. Ron?
Hey, Mike, you know, we've talked about Terrell Davis all night, being a cerebral player, patient, setting up his blocks, but he also has great explosion and speed. And you'll see the explosion right here when he gets the ball and reads the gap. Boom, you'll see there's his vision. He spots the hole. Now the explosion through the hole again, trying to set up the block of Gary Zimmerman. Cuts it back inside. Once again, great explosion. Here's speed. This is real speed. You try to catch this guy, it's not going to happen. That is pure speed. And running the football 178 yards on 26 carries. But the most important one to me is that plus 4 yards offensive efficiency. Most teams in the NFL would like to have their running back around 45 to 50%. He is close to 80% tonight, Mike. I'll tell you, Howard Griff has been blocking very well for him.
Boy, sure has, Jaws. And Terrell Davis, the whole package for the Denver Broncos. As they go with the onside kick, the ball is loose. Chargers say they have it, and they do. James Burgess, the linebacker, comes up with the ball. And the hands team is not supposed to do that.
Well, Darian Gordon especially, you know, he's a guy that catches punts and everything else. This is that little hop. There it is. The ball bounces up. Bounces right off his chest. It's laying on the ground, and here comes the world in to get it. Frank Novak's had himself a good night, the special teams coach of the Chargers. His guys are making plays.
They want to reset the game clock to 28 seconds. There's Burgess, who's credited with the recovery. And now they do reset it at 20 seconds, or 26. It never moved on the kickoff. So Wheelahan with one more opportunity from his own 40. Throws underneath to Martin. Martin trying to get out of bounds and outruns Romanowski to the sideline at the 44. There's a marker down back at the 30, and it's going to be a hold against San Diego.
No foul. Number 75, 15 yards. Repeat first down.
They call this one on Tony Birdie. Kevin Gilbride will probably spread the field here and try and hit one of the seams to one of the inside guys.
12 penalties, 92 yards for the Chargers. Or, excuse me, the Broncos. The Chargers charged 9 for 56. Wheelahan steps up and throws. Still. It's out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Romanowski took him out after a gain of 20, and there's 10 seconds left.
The tackle by number 53, Bill Romanowski.
Mike, here I think you try and throw another one to the sidelines, and then maybe get yourself 2 shots in the end zone. Probably just one.
Denver dropping people 30, 35, now 40 yards off the ball. Wheelahan throws. That water nearly picked it off. Had it in his hands, couldn't hold it with 4 seconds left. You see Kevin Gilbride, you can't throw that.
You can't do that. I mean, you just can't. You can never throw the ball down the slot late. The safeties have very little room to travel to pick it off. Atwater's going to look at this one on film and say, gosh, I don't know how to let that one get away.
Wheelahan tonight, 23 completions out of 50 attempts. 222 yards, and here comes the game's last play. To the goal line, incomplete. Our final score, 38-28, Denver. Coming up next, Sports Center. Dan Patrick and Kenny Mayne bring you up to date on all the top stories, including the 49ers conversation with the great quarterback, John